Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Bits of real panther, so you know it's good.
It's quite pungent.
Oh, yeah.
It stings the nostrils. In a good way.
Yeah.
Brian, I'm gonna be honest with you, that smells like pure gasoline.
60% of the time, it works. Every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Chiefs Kingdom. It's time for All Chiefed Up with your hosts, Steve and Mike Williams. From the Bluegrass to the Red Sea, this is the Kingdoms Podcast.
What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? ACU fam in the house. How we guys doing today, guys and gals? It's a beautiful Saturday. Beautiful Saturday. Me and Mike went out and played some golf today. I got my butt kicked and I got sunburned. So that's how my day went. But yeah, fun stuff. We took the pops out and had a good time. But yeah, football. There's a little bit of football stuff, but not a whole lot. OTAs wrapped up and we got to see some guys shine a little bit. We got to see some guys that people talked a lot about, maybe not be talked about as much. But yeah, Mike, what did you think about the whole OTAs as a whole?
The OTAs, actually, it turned out pretty good, I think. I think we got to see some of the younger guys come in, and they stepped up. We already seen, if you watched our video yesterday, Deneric Prince is getting praise from every single coach, all the players, you name it, Deneric Prince. People are loving him. Like, he looks like he could be a steal out of the UDFA room. He really does. We've seen Sky Moore step up. He had tons of catches over the last few weeks. 7-on-7, 11-on-11s. He was making diving grabs. He was, catching balls over the middle and breaking them off for touchdowns. We've seen Najee Johnson look really good, Steve. Dave Tobe already said he's one of the best gunners in the league, but he's having tons of pass breakups on 11-on-11. Nico Remigio had a pretty good, he had a pretty good OTA session. Devin Bush actually had a pretty good OTA session, and we were talking about Devin Bush not even possibly making the team because, we got so many young guys back in there. But
right.
Rashee Rice looked good. MVS actually had a pretty good OTA. I think it's looking good for all the people that we said need to step up this year, and I feel pretty good about it, man.
Yeah, me too, man. Like I've said before, you can't really take OTAs and things like that like too seriously. A lot of guys get hyped during that time. Like everybody's pretty excited about Deneric Prince. They've been hyped about him since we picked him up as a UDFA with good reason. I mean, the guy shows a lot of skill, a lot of talent, and I think that he has a very high ceiling. And it could be one of those steals that we get, like the Isaiah Pacheco in the 7th round or Justin Ross's UDFA. Maybe Deneric Prince could be that too. But you won't know really until they put them pads on, or at least get to camp and get through that. But OTAs is a good start of it. It's when they get to finally get on the field and have team activities. And
well, what's funny, Steve, is they're not even working on any kind of run. Like they're not installing any run packages. They're installing straight pass. It's just nothing but pass plays. How do running backs? No, but running backs can catch out of the backfield and block and do this and that, but they're not really going up against tacklers. So the blocking thing, so it's crazy to think that they're so impressed over a running back when they've not even got to the running side of things yet. But I think Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is mandatory OTAs, and that'll be the last thing they do before they go into camp. So I'm kind of excited about the mandatory OTA. They still can't hit. They can't do anything like that, but everybody has to be there because we've seen a few people,
right,
not at these other OTAs.
Right. These have been completely voluntary, so a lot of guys are not showing up, and it's not unusual for them not to do that. Usually you'll see the young guys in there trying to get in the extra work and start out on the right foot and show that they have a good work ethic, but usually like some vets and things take the extra time off and, keep recovering, keep resting, things like that. So, I mean, it's not a big deal at all. I'm pretty pumped about it. I'm so excited to see where this roster ends up this season, man. It's pretty exciting. I know you guys in the chat are excited about it, but it's good to see everybody so far, man. We got Gary in the house, Veta, Brian Parrott, Brian Gales, Jesse, what's up? We're in Kentucky. I was letting you know. He asked who's in Kentucky. Julia Gulia's in the house. We got Curtis Nelson. What's going on? Brenda's here. Man, a lot. Brett Veach is here. Brett Veach in the house.
We got Trav. We got Curtis. We got Kevin Capel. A lot of the usual suspects tonight. How you guys doing on this Saturday evening? Having our little tailgate party. Dude, it feels nice outside tonight, Steve. I'd like to actually be having a real tailgate party somewhere right now. Have a little bonfire, do something like that. But what's up, K. Wayne? How's it going, brother?
Yeah, after the long day of golf in the hot sun, I'm kind of wore out, man. I was ready to chill in the hammock in the cool weather outside now, But it's you know what? I got to go spend time with my peeps on the live stream because we haven't seen them in a minute. How many of you guys got to catch us on How About Those Chiefs on Thursday night? That was fun. Get to go in there and talk to Cole we talked for 2 hours, so I hope you guys got to check that out. And yeah, also, if you didn't get to, it's still there. Just go over to his page and check it out. But I had a good time, Mike. How about you?
Yeah, it was fun. He asked us more, personal questions, things like that. We talked a little bit of football. Not a lot of football going on though. It's hard to make lemonade when you don't got lemons, and we don't have many lemons right now. Yeah, so there's not a lot to talk about. But it was about 2 hours, and it wasn't too bad. I know Brian Parrott probably caught it. I don't even know if he's allowed to go watch it over there. I don't know.
Brian, you're not allowed. You're not allowed to watch it. You have to bootleg it. No, but I'm glad it looks like some of you guys got to catch it. Cindy, Dez, Veta. Yeah, so I'm glad you guys got to watch it, Brenda. So yeah, it was fun. We'll do more stuff like that later on. I think people like the collabs, and I know we share quite a few members with How About Those Chiefs, so it's cool to get together and talk about a little bit, kind of do something a little different every now and then.
Yeah, we're gonna try to pull Cole in here on a Saturday night tailgate. Actually, we're gonna see if we can talk to
pry
him.
him away from his time off,
right? Because he takes off weekends usually, but if we can sneak him in here for about an hour or two on a tailgate, we may do that. K. Wayne says, "I'm from How About Those Chiefs." Well, good to have you over here, K.
Nice.
Wayne.
Welcome.
Pretty much got a lot of the same folk, a lot of different folk, but I tell you what, they're all knowledgeable. It's a pretty accepting little group. What's up, Jay? I see Jay. I see Orion. What's up, brother?
Orion. We always fight about this. It's Orion guided.
Is it? What is that? I mean, what's
pretty
the difference,
sure.
Really? Jan's what's up,
It's
Jan?
like the star constellation, Orion's belt. I think that's where it come from. I could be wrong. Correct me in the chat if I'm wrong, but using my big brain here.
Big brain.
No, man, but yeah, like I was saying, I'm super excited to see how this roster, shakes out, because I feel like that, believe it or not, a lot of people think like, oh, the Chiefs keep losing everybody. We're losing everybody. It's like, dude, we're getting better. We're getting better. We're getting younger. I'm excited about it. The draft was good for the Chiefs. I think the free agency signings have been good for the Chiefs. I think that the UDFAs are going to be good for the Chiefs. I mean, we got a lot of good competition going on in the wide receiver room and the cornerbacks. So, I mean, I'm excited, man. The wide receivers, we've talked about this time and time again, but it's like, everybody thinks that we need another wide receiver, and of course we got like a lot of us that would love to have D-Hop in the house. It just is what it is, but we already have quite a bit of them that are good, and it's going to be a good competition to see who actually makes this 53-man roster. A lot of people's super pumped on Justin Ross and think that he's going to make it. A lot of people are saying that Richie James is getting slept on. He's coming off the best year of his career with the Giants last year. I mean, and you got guys like John Ross that some people are excited about just because of his blazing speed. And he made some catches in the OTAs. I saw that. So that was good to see. If he could stay healthy, he might be able to contribute to this team. I don't know. There's just so many different ways this wide receiver room could go. It's just going to be fun to see. And I'm also really interested in the offensive line because they posted a picture the other day, and it was Donovan Smith, Joe Tooney, Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, and then Jawan Taylor on the right. And it was like, is this what we're going to roll with? You think that's what's going to be there at the beginning of the season? You think that that's going to stick?
Yeah, it'll stick as long as there's no injuries. As long as there's no injuries. I do think we're going to take a lot of offensive linemen into the 53. I think we'll probably have 10, 12. I'll say 12, at least 12. I don't remember what our exact number was last year, but it was a lot. There was a lot of offensive linemen that went in. Yeah. I don't know. We should probably try to pick a 53-man sometime. You know those little.
We should do it soon. I mean, it's usually better to wait a little longer, but
it's way too early. But it's fun to do. I wish we could get one of those. You know how we used to do tier list? I wish you could somehow make that to where you could like put all the players in and then put them in the tier list.
Yeah, maybe
on
the next tailgate we can come up with our own 53-man roster here with us and the crew. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, see where Lewis said, everybody's been saying that the Chiefs are losing all these people, that the Chargers will win the division. We hear that every freaking year, and it's always wrong. Chargers, and the Chiefs lost everybody. Chiefs lost Tyreek Hill last year. It was over. The Chiefs are done. They lost Tyreek Hill. Yeah, it mattered a whole lot, didn't it? So I don't think we're gonna cry about losing Juju or anything like that. It's gonna be good. But yeah, I'm excited. And Julia, the secondary, it's fire for sure. Loving the secondary. I mean, it's so young and they're so good. Like the young talent in our secondary is a beautiful thing to see. Especially if DeAndre Sneed sticks around for the entire year. I mean, we got a solid DB group.
Steve Curtis says, Bo prediction, John Ross will make the team. What do you think?
I'm seeing this more and more. And I'm not counting the guy completely out. Like,
I think we need the first poll of the night. First poll of the night. Is John Ross going to make the 53-man, yes or no?
Yeah, I'll put that up in 1 second. Let me share my thoughts. So my thing is, John Ross, we all know how fast he is. I mean, he ran the fastest 40 time ever at the combine. It was like a 4.2 something. I don't know. Guy's super fast, blazing speed. And that's something that always translates with Andy Reid's offense. So, I mean, could he be used as our gadget guy? Could he be our end-around guy now that McColl's gone? You know, like the jet sweeps and all that good stuff. I don't know. Maybe he can return some kicks, something like that. He don't have the best health. He's been, injury-riddled his entire career. He's never really lived up to the hype. He was really good in Washington in college, but then he got drafted with the Bengals, and he never really panned out. He just stayed hurt a lot. And I think he even played – where did he end up going after the Bengals? He played somewhere else for a minute, and it was the same deal. He just couldn't stay healthy. So I don't have high hopes of him making the team. I don't think it's like a big chance, but I think there's a small chance John Ross could do it just because of the speed and special teams abilities and things like that. And, I mean, he's – like I said, he's been injury-riddled, but he does have some experience in the league. So he's got a shot, I would say. I'll go ahead and put a poll up.
He's got a shot. I mean, all of them have a shot right now. I don't know how much of a shot. Who knows? We'll let you guys decide. Let's be honest. We'll just let you guys throw it out there. What's up, Chris? Chris says he's finally here. What's going on, brother? Haven't heard from Chris in a while. Is the graduation stuff done? Are you back home? How was the trip to California? I feel like it would be nice this time of year. Julia says, so seven wide receivers. Man, you know,
Possibility.
you've got to take 7 wide. You're either going to take 7 wide, or you're going to take one more corner or safety, or you're going to take possibly one more linebacker or one more offensive
Couple
lineman.
special
I think
teams.
that's where I think that's where that extra fullback roster spot's going to fall.
Well, yeah. I mean, where else does it go? I mean, I think that's the most obvious spots. Like, we've talked about this a few times. There's guys like Jerry Neely on the team that swing. They can play wide receiver and running back. So do you give a 7th spot to a guy that's, a Swiss Army knife? Or same with offensive linemen. Do we give a 7th spot to a guy that can play tackle, can play guard, can swing, up and down that line? Just a lot of options, and it does help because let's be honest here, the fullback position since Anthony Sherman's been gone has kind of been a bust. Mike Burton wasn't bad, but I mean, everybody knew when Mike Burton was coming in the game, it was 3rd and 1, and he was going to get handed the ball, and he was going to get stuffed. That's what was going to happen because you can map it out from 10 miles away.
Yeah, the fullback
blindfolded.
position it's just
outdated.
obsolete. Yeah, it's obsolete.
It is. I mean, they don't play smash mouth football anymore. You don't need that lead blocker for the halfback, and that's mainly what they are. I mean, let's be honest here. And like I formation, so you don't see that hardly ever anymore. So I mean, it is what it is. They'll use the tight ends as a H back. You'll probably see Blake Bell doing it quite a bit, Noah Gray, stuff like that, man. So it'll be interesting to see. But it does open up a spot to add somebody. And in my opinion, the way that our team works and the way that Andy Reid, runs this offense, I think 7 wide receivers is ideal, especially with injury concerns, because that leaves you a spot open. Does Justin Ross make this squad? If there's 7 receivers, why the heck wouldn't you put him on the team? You can boom or bust all you want. Like, this guy can come out and literally go off like everybody is, saying he's going to do. Or even if he comes out and gets hurt, then it is what it is. I think I like the 7 wide receiver idea, but then again, offensive line, things like that, you want depth everywhere. And I mean, Andy, I fully 100% trust Andy Reid on his decisions on the roster. Like, I've never seen, in the Andy Reid era, like, how'd this guy not make the team? That's just stupid. I never think that. Like, I fully trust Andy to pick the guys that are going to be best for this team.
Are we getting trolled by Lewis? Are we getting trolled? Lewis has been an adamant
Lewis, go ahead,
anti-D-Hop guy.
Get on in there. It's okay, man. A lot of people are anti-D-Hop. Everybody got their opinions, and I respect it too. Like, if that's what you think, then yeah, cool.
Did you
I
see
just happen to be on the other side of it.
Did you see what D-Hop tweeted today? Some guy come out and he said that D-Hop was like one of the top 2 or 3 receivers last year against man-to-man defense.
He's people don't understand, but he
like,
is.
And D-Hop was like, "Shh, don't say that. I can't get open. I'm too old." And like, he trolled people on there.
Yeah.
But it's kind of
There was a few things like that, and I mean, it is what it is, man. The numbers don't lie, and D-Hop missed 6 games last year, still almost went for 1,000 yards. Like you said, he was 3rd in the league against man-to-man coverage, getting separation. Like, there's still some in the tank there, and why the heck not? Why the heck not use him if we can for the next year or two that he's still going to be playing at a high level? I mean,
right.
Like I said, before, it's a win-win, right? D-Hop, get over here. You've got a very high chance of winning that ring, and if even if you don't, you're going to have a good year. That's a good team, good group of guys to be around. Same with us. Like, it can't be some astronomical number, and we all know that. But Brett Veach can make a pretty decent offer. He will find a way to wiggle it if he wants to. As far as I know, him and Andy wanted DeAndre Hopkins. They tried to trade for him, and I think they still like him. So we'll see where it leads. I've said it a million times. The first domino has to fall, and that's Chris Jones getting extended.
Right. Shout out to Chris. Chris gifted 5 members, some subs, some memberships. We appreciate you, Chris.
Appreciate that, Chris.
He's getting kicked off. Lego. I thought Lego was already a daggone. Okay, he probably just expired. Brent got one. Sherry Kubicki, Bill Kunelis. I'll say it right in a minute, Bill. Sorry. Bill Kunelis and David Howe, all brand new members. And we thank you. We welcome you guys. So be sure to tell Chris
you the man.
Thank you, and welcome to the membership. Welcome to the. We don't even know what we're calling this yet. Welcome. Wait, our memberships are a little different than just our people, right? We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We're going to figure it out.
They're different
It's going to be
tiers.
figured out.
We want a name for everybody. We've talked about this several times, and we're going to narrow it down soon.
Yeah.
I think like we've talked about it enough. I think it's time to name these beautiful people that are members of the All Chiefs
I hear
channel
you.
and just stick with it. So I think we should do that very, very soon.
Right.
If you have the ideas, throw them in the comments. We're more than open. Right now we have a couple in mind. So,
well, Brian Parrott wrote Lewis, I'm with you, talking about Lewis, Cuthbert, talking about D-Hop. And he said, I blame Jason Dunn and Marcus Dash for convincing me. The deeper I dig, the more I find. So was Jason Dunn and Marcus Dash against bringing in D-Hop, or were they for bringing in D-Hop?
No. I'm pretty sure Jason Dunn's been for it.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it too.
Anybody, let's be honest here. I know a lot of guys don't want him because they're thinking of all the negative stuff. Like, oh, we don't have the money for that. Or he could possibly be a diva in the locker room, or he's a locker room cancer. He's got an ego, and it's like, these are all speculations.
Yeah, Lewis confirms it. He said he was barbecuing, and they got me thinking, why not? Well,
that's been my sentiment the whole time.
Hey, Lewis, why can't these two guys convince you? You fought us. We didn't
do a very good job.
Because Jason Dunn's cooler than me. He did put on a Chiefs uniform, so I'll give him that. But yeah.
For real though, I mean, that's been the sentiment I've had the whole time. Why wouldn't you? If you can upgrade your team and make your team better, why not? I mean, I don't think Brett Veach is the best GM in football. He's not going to do anything that's going to hamstring them up the road. He's not going to kick the can down the road too much to where he can't handle it. He's the best when it comes to reworking the money and sliding in under that cap. And I think that if he can come up with something, I'm not worried about it. I mean, if he thinks we can do it, and Andy wants him, and Brett wants him, and he can work it out, I'm not going to worry my little head about it.
Well, here's my whole thing.
Like, he's got this, and we have a wide receiver one.
Right. I've said this time and time again. Andy and Brett already tried to trade for him. So we know they already have checked into D-Hop. They're comfortable with him being on the team. They wanted him. They didn't think our receiver room was so good we didn't need him. So that was just the point I was trying to make. Like, Andy and Brett have already dug into this, and they feel completely fine, or they wouldn't have attempted that trade. So I'm not going to come out and be like, no, he's a diva. I don't think we should get him. Because it's like, well, I don't really know him personally. Nobody does, except for these guys that go and do all the homework on him. So that was always just our thing, but it is what it is. A lot of people are talking about Brandon Staley and the Chargers in the chat. Did somebody come out and say the Chargers were going to sweep the Chiefs this year or something? Was that the thing?
I'm sure they did. I mean, isn't it every year? Like, the Chargers are going to take over the AFC West every freaking year, dude.
Dude, it's not
happening. The same crap.
I will say this, though. Brandon Staley is a crappy coach. Hands down. He shouldn't have played Mike Williams last year and got him hurt before the playoffs. He goes on fourth down too much. He plays too much Madden. This guy relies on his little stupid sheet with percentages, and it don't help him one bit. He's horrible. Nathaniel Hackett was a horrible coach last year. And to be honest, who's the guy that looks like Daniel Tosh that's over there in Vegas? You know what I'm talking about. He sucks too.
Yeah, dude from New England. Yeah, he does suck.
Was it Josh McDaniel?
Why can't I think of it? Josh McDaniel. Yeah.
Look, they all suck, and that's why the Chiefs have been running wild with this division because of Andy Reid.
You know
coaches
what?
Actually
all these
do
coaches
matter.
besides Andy Reid is? All these coaches in the AFC West beside Andy Reid.
Slap nuts.
Y'all can put it in a chat. Boom,
They're
boom,
slap
boom.
nuts. But I will say, and I think that's why Denver.
least.
I think that's why Denver went out and grabbed, Sean Payton, because he is better than everybody else besides Andy Reid in that division now, which means Denver will rise to the top. They'll sit right below.
I'm sorry.
They're going to sit firmly below the Chiefs.
Right. Sean Payton will get that team back on track. It won't be this year. You'll see some improvement this year, but I mean, he's not a miracle worker, but he is a good coach, believe it or not. And I think he'll have them back on track somewhat. So, I mean, I think we should expect to start seeing a little bit more competition from Denver in the coming years. But I wouldn't be too worried about them this year. But then again, I mean, Denver plays us tough. Same with the Chargers. All the division games always play us tough, except the Raiders. We just blow them out most of the time. But everybody else plays us tough. And even when they suck, man, like the Denver Broncos sucked last year. Just straight up. The Broncos were trash. And they played us tight. It's like, and then it a year before that when they had Drew Lock. They had us beat. Right. They had us dead to rights.
We've talked about this time and time again. It's always because the Chiefs have self-inflicted wounds. Our offense will sputter. It'll cause our defense to have short fields. They'll come out and basically just half-ass it for an entire game. Andy does not have that killer mentality he needs to put these teams away when it counts. It's just one of those things. Yeah. But I think they'll get there. I think they're going to do it. I think this year we're going to have more killer mentality, Steve.
Well, I noticed it last year. Andy's starting in his old age, starting to get a little more cutthroat. And
he's not getting nicer.
Did you not feel that a little bit last year? I felt like last year we put some teams away when we needed to. You didn't?
No.
Like I don't know.
I mean,
There's just a couple games where it was like,
unless our team just struggled enough that they couldn't put them away. But like, I thought we let a lot of teams right back into some games that had me a little nervous.
That's just going to happen in the NFL, right? I mean, every team. I mean, you can say a team's garbage, like the Broncos. They were hot trash last year, but guess what? They're an NFL team, so at any given Sunday, they can put up a fight, whether they suck or not. And
the NFL and the officiating crew keep them close for TV ratings in Vegas and everything else too. We'll just be honest about that one. So
the conspiracy theories begin.
There's no conspiracy theory. I know for a fact they throw flags timely to keep games close. They don't want to put a game on prime time, like the Chiefs-Lions. Prime time kicking it off on Thursday night, you better bet they're going to let the Lions in this game. They're not going to allow blowout on the opening night. They ain't going to do it.
Hey, Cole, don't tell people that, man. You can't be talking about how you love Justin Herbert in the chat. Shh. Quiet. No, I'm just kidding. I'm messing with him. He's just saying that he likes Justin. He was a fan of Justin Herbert coming out of college, and he uses him on fantasy. I was just joking around.
Cole?
But yeah.
Banned. No.
Man, that's awesome. What's worse, Herschel Walker trade or Russell Wilson trade? Julia wants to know. Russell Wilson.
God, they're both bad. I don't know. Herschel Walker was a bad trade. Russell Wilson's pretty bad too, let's be honest. Russell has time to redeem himself just a little bit, right? If Russell comes in and has another, if he turns it around this year, then does better the next year, and they was to get to the playoffs within the next 2 to 3 years, people will let up on that trade, I believe.
Right. So,
but I mean, it was bad.
The chances of the Chiefs absolutely sweeping the AFC West again, obviously, it's not great chances to sweep the division every year. Could they do it? Yes, absolutely, 100%. But if they were to drop a game, Mike, who do you think's the likely suspect here? Do you think it'd be Denver sneaking one in on us because it's been 20 years, or do you think it's like, do the Chargers because they randomly?
If it's a divisional game, I think every team has a chance to beat every team in the division, except for maybe.
Right, but I'm just saying, if they drop
Vegas.
one, who's the likely suspect? Who do you think does it?
It's always the Chargers, because the Chargers always play us better than they play everybody else. Like, that's a thing. They always play better. It always comes down to a late score with the Chargers. There's been countless times that, you know what I mean? Like, there's always something. Right. There's a big rivalry with Kelsey and the safety they have out there. But I tell you, Denver, this streak can't go forever. Like, we're like 15 straight or something like that. It can't last forever. The sun shines on a dog's ass every once in a while. It's gotta. So that's what I'm saying. If they were to beat us, Steve, it's not going to surprise me that much. Like, they're getting better.
It's also not the end of the world. But
yeah, it's not the end of the world.
But it's not going to happen. I'm just going to go ahead and call that right now. We sweep Denver.
Kevin says we lost to the sorry-ass Colts, but we always lose to the Colts. We actually talked about that. Me and Steve talked about that.
AFC South teams. We struggle with AFC South teams. It's that time, time control offense, the grind it out kind of crap. That's what always gets the Chiefs. Tennessee always gives us fits.
Yeah, they take the air out of the ball, and they play good defense. They find ways to make our offense struggle and sputter, and then they take the air out of the ball. You know what
I think it is?
Andy always struggles with
bore our team to death. I think that they come out and they play such boring football that everybody falls asleep and allows them to win, just so it'll stop. Like, here, we're going to hand the ball to Derrick Henry 89 times today.
Mike's not wearing a tinfoil hat, bro. If you want to see anything, hey, if you want to see people throwing flags to help games, go back and watch the Colts game and find that Chris Jones, and you tell me what he said.
Right, yeah, no.
You tell me what he said.
I'm 100% in agreement with Mike. Like, not tinfoil hat type wearing. Like, the NFL's not scripted. It's not the WWE.
It's not scripted.
But if you don't think that they have those judgment calls that the refs, do here and there, you're probably a little naive, to be quite honest about it. Especially in primetime games and things like that. They wouldn't want the Chiefs to go out there and just absolutely slaughter somebody. So they got to tamper it a little.
Look, it's not scripted, but if the Chiefs are up 30 points going into halftime, you better believe in the third quarter they're going to start calling some plays here and there to see if they can get a little bit of momentum back, because they don't want people to turn it. Money is rating, and the NFL's all about money. Otherwise, we wouldn't be going to Germany, Mexico, and God's country every other week to play a game. We would stick to the NFL in America, which is the National Football League. So, yeah, they're all about that money. They always have will and always will be. That's the way it is. Do they script games? No. That's stupid. They don't script them. But I do believe there's a little bit of little bit of foul play.
Man, I saw a good question in the chat, and I was looking it up because I don't know the answer. But Nikki asked, has any team ever lost the Super Bowl and turned around and won it the next year? And that's a good one. It's okay. So let me read this to you.
I don't think.
Yes, this has happened 5 times.
The Patriots probably.
The 1998 St. Louis Rams.
Okay.
Is that right? This is not right. No, it's not. It did not bring up the same thing.
So the Rams won in 99?
No, the Rams were one of the worst teams in the NFL to win the Super Bowl. Let's see.
I feel like the year that the Patriots lost in the Super Bowl.
Okay. I got it.
To the Giants.
Right. The 1971 Dallas Cowboys, the 1972 Miami Dolphins, and the 2018 New England Patriots have followed a Super Bowl defeat with a Super Bowl win the following season. So only 3 teams: 71 Cowboys, 72 Dolphins, and 2018 Patriots. That's interesting, because usually you see.
Well, what
like,
about those Chiefs?
Sometimes they'll completely fall off. What are you talking about? Chiefs didn't do it.
Oh yeah, that's right. We had that year gap, didn't we?
Yeah, the Rams won the next year.
Yeah. Okay, I forgot.
And then they fell off into oblivion.
I don't think
like
about the
most teams
Rams.
do.
The Rams are. Good Lord, just buy another one. Why didn't they just go out? They would have spent less money if they just would have went to the jeweler and bought themselves rings.
Shaft says if we're keeping CEH, just move him to fullback. He'd be the tiniest little fullback of all time. We'll just put him out there to get slaughtered over and over again.
Right.
So that's another good question. I'm gonna end this poll. If you guys haven't voted in it, go ahead and do it real quick if you want to. But it was, do you think John Ross will make the 53-man roster?
I think it's going to be closer than we think.
It is, but I'm going to go ahead and end it
Is it?
with 55 votes. 58% say no, 42% yes. So it's
That's
higher than I
close.
thought. It's higher than I thought because I don't think a whole lot of people have faith in the guy, to be honest. I personally don't. When I first hear, hey, is John Ross going to make the roster? The first thing in my head's like, no. But
Well, the first thing in my head is, are we taking 6 wide receivers or are we taking 9?
even if we're taking, if we're taking 7, I still don't know if John Ross fits
That's
into this.
kind of what I'm saying. Like even
You
at
know.
7, I have a tough time getting him on there. You don't keep John Ross over Justin Watson.
No,
you
but
just signed
while
him,
we're
and I don't even
while
think
we're-
over Richie
while
James.
we're on the running backs, before Mike keeps on going about John Ross. So, do you think Clyde is going to play the full season with the Chiefs, or do you think they will hawk him off in a trade? If you just had your best guess right now, what do you think? In the season with the Chiefs, or do they get him in a deal?
I don't think anybody wants to trade for a running back that can't stay healthy. So that might be your problem.
Right.
You're probably just stuck with him. If you do get rid of him, what's it going to be for? A 7th-round pick? I'd probably rather have Clyde. Just let him beat the crap out of Clyde and take as much wear and tear on him as we can.
Right.
So,
I saw where somebody asked who's the best running back. If you're talking about just on the Chiefs, Isaiah Pacheco, hands down. That's an easy one. If you're talking about in the whole league, we can talk about that for a while. There's some different ones, but I think you have to give it to Derrick Henry still, even though he's getting up there in age.
Broncos, Jan.
Yeah. Mike Burton went to the Broncos. He went over there with Frank Clark.
The old Broncos. Lewis says the Vikings. We said that. We thought Clyde would probably be something good if they're going to get rid of Dalvin Cook.
Yeah,
That'd be nice to make a Danielle Hunter trade there. That'd be nice.
That is like the most likely trade target in my mind is Minnesota, because they let Dalvin Cook go, so they could use some running back depth there. They have what's his name, Madison. He'll probably get the start. They just drafted Dwayne McBride. I don't know who else they have. I'm sure there's a third one that I don't know because I don't know their roster that great. But they could use Clyde. They really could. And they also could use a cornerback. And a lot of people, gosh, I see it every time we mention this, I get like at least 5 comments like, we're not trading LeJerry Sneed. You're an idiot. It's like, well, it could happen. He's on his contract year. So, is that something that they explore? Like, is there some kind of a deal they can make to get Danielle Hunter, because he's only owed $5.5 million this year? And then you have the opportunity of extending him and keeping, a top tier pass rusher in the league with the guys that we already have. And I don't know. Is that something the Chiefs explore? Quite possibly.
Right. Well, Brian says Clyde has to go or we lose Prince or Ely. Can't keep them all.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, you're kind of right.
If Clyde don't go, he's going to be RB1B. Like, you're going to see Isaiah Pacheco on the field first and get that starting nod because of what he did last year. He earned it. But you're going to see Clyde get just as many looks as everybody else because Andy Reid will use Clyde. Clyde is productive when he's not hurt and he's playing. Like, no one can deny Clyde is a decent back when he's on the field. It's just that no one trusts Clyde to be on the field, ever. He's either hurt or at a fashion show.
Des, do you guys follow college football? A little. We're not huge into college football.
I watch Kentucky.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're in Kentucky, University of Kentucky. I watch them usually when they're playing. It's been a pretty good last few years for Kentucky. They've improved a lot. They had, what's his name, Liam Cohen, the dude that was an offensive coordinator or something like that for the Rams. They got him calling plays, and they had Will Levis. That was a good combo. That was fun to watch. And then last year they didn't have Cohen, and it was a little slower. But still, I mean, it's good to see them actually compete in the SEC because we're used to watching them get beat down by all those teams. So.
Yeah, I think the biggest story I'll be following this year is Deion in Colorado. That's just it amazes me. I want to see what happens.
You love Deion.
He's got a good mentality, man. I just like it. Go win. Just go win. Lewis says a 3rd round and a CEH for Danielle Hunter. I'd do that all day long. I wouldn't think twice about that. I would give a 2nd round and I would give a 2nd round and Clyde. I don't care. I'd give a 2nd round.
It kind of depends on what you're willing. It depends on what you're looking at. Like, are you getting Danielle Hunter in and trying to extend him and keep him, or are you just saying, hey, I'm going to use him for this 1 year for $5.5 million?
No, that's pointless. If you're not wanting to extend the guy, it's pointless. But if you tell me Danielle Hunter's not a top 66 player coming out in the draft next year, I'm going to laugh at you. And the dude's 28. Yeah. He's the same age as Chris Jones. These dudes are going to be kicking all kinds of ass on the grass for 5-6 more years. So I would love to be able to restructure Chris Jones and use some of that money to bring in another ginormous pass rusher that can help Felix and George. And honestly, I think George Karlaftis is going to have the biggest breakout season this year. I think he's going to be star quality at the end of this season. I really do.
He has the work ethic, man. He puts in the work, and that goes a long way. He's just such a high motor.
Right. The only thing I'm afraid of is that like sophomore slump. That always tends to happen. But with a pass rusher, he don't really have much to do. It's just like go get quarterback. Like
Nick Bolton showed you that doesn't have to happen. Nick Bolton showed you that doesn't have to happen. Lego throwing out the merch link, merch.allchiefedup.com. Lewis says he's going to be ordering some merch on payday. That's awesome, Lewis. What you eyeballing? Let us know in the chat what you're liking in the store. Everybody else, check it out if you want to grab some merch. It's a good way to support the channel. 105 of you guys here. We appreciate that. That's awesome. We done broke the century mark tonight on our Saturday night tailgate. If you're new to the channel and you love the Kansas City Chiefs, hit that sub button.
Yeah, we appreciate it. We're trying to get to 10,000, 10K. And, dude, our last video, man, our generic Prince video went ham. We got like 100 subs from that video. Super proud of that. You don't get hundreds of subs on long-form content on YouTube. It's almost impossible.
Usually not, no.
And, like, we did something. It just shows that the movement is going. The movement is going. People are starting to realize the Williams bro, the Mountain Dew bros, the Diet Dew Bros. The Dew Bros.
It's just the Dew
can get it going. Hey, speaking of the Danielle Hunter trade, man, it's picking up steam. Have you guys, okay, you know how we have Chiefs Wire, right? So that is a universal, a conglomerate for like whatever. So there's like Falcons Wire, Patriots Wire. Anyway, Vikings Wire come out today, and they listed the Chiefs as a top spot for Danielle Hunter, and they think the Chiefs are all in on this trade. Like, they think he's one of the teams that Brett Veach is reaching out. So it's picking up some steam. Again, we see what Chiefs Wire does sometimes, and I love Chiefs Wire, and I love Charles Goldman, but they can come up with some crazy stuff. So
well, I mean,
we still don't know if the Vikings Wire is going to do it. But
sometimes they're just trying to keep stories afloat in a dead time of year, which is what happens. I saw in the chat, somebody asked, let's see where it's at. David Howe, he says, why is Hunter so available? Or I'm sorry, so valuable. Yeah, so I'll tell you why Hunter's so valuable. He is 28 years old, 6'5", 263 pounds. He runs a 4.5 40. He was a 3rd-round selection back in 2015. He had 43 solo tackles, 12 assists, 12 sacks, and a forced fumble last year with a PFF grade of 86.3, which is astronomically high.
Right.
The guy is good. That's why he's so valuable. And I mean, like we were saying, he's only due $5.5 million this coming year. So that's for that kind of production. That is amazing value.
Right. And you would have to restructure. That's the whole thing. The Vikings don't want to add on. They've already went to his contract and they adjusted it like we'd done Mahomes' contract. So they're eating. He's supposed to take up $13 million of their cap this year, but they already had to pay him out like $8 million. So he's only going to hit 5.5 against the cap because of the restructure. But man, I tell you, you're going to have him for 5.5. Here's what you could do. You could come in and you could be like, look, 5.5, we'll talk restructure. But let's talk, whatever. Now, he may be like, well, if you don't, I'm going to hold out. But, I mean, players in their prime don't want to hold out.
Right.
There's just no way.
Yeah.
So Brett Veach would have all the thing, but I feel like I would pay him $4 or $5 million up to 40 to 50 to even 60 million. That's a premier pass rusher, and that would be good to have for the next 4 years. You don't give Mahomes more weapons, baby. Give him more weapons.
Lewis says he's checking out the hoodie on the store. That's awesome, Lewis. Hope you can get that soon. Those things are nice. Mike's got one on right now.
Yeah, they're pretty soft.
So, yeah.
They're nice.
Brenda's wondering, what about Charles Omenihu? I mean, people keep forgetting about this guy, but he's coming off his best year as a pro. And Omena. Anyway, he's coming off his best year as a pro. Brett Veach is pretty good at finding these guys that are doing that kind of thing. And I
like Charles Omenihu.
Yeah, do you catch the guy while he's high? He's on an uptrend. Maybe he breaks out this year.
But look, if you tell me, I'll give you Charles Omenihu, and he may do something this year, or you take Danielle Hunter. You're taking Danielle Hunter. Now the problem is, here's the problem: money, finances. It's always the problem. Right. When you go to the store and you say, "Mom, I want Pop-Tarts," and she says, "Don't look at the Kellogg's Pop-Tarts. Go to the store brand." And you say, "Mom, that's horrible."
You go get the great value crap, okay?
You go get.
Hey, we have Pop-Tarts at
look,
home.
when you grow up, you realize the great value brand's pretty good. But when you're a kid, you're crying about it. So sometimes we're really just fans. We cry a little bit.
Good. It's really not good. But when you have to pay for it, you think it's better. Right. KL368 with the membership. Welcome aboard. Glad you got that membership, man. If you guys want to do that, make sure to go join. Starts at $4.99. We do members only live streams once a month. We got some other perks. You get some, merch discounts on some of the levels and things like that. Just go to our page, hit join, and it'll tell you all the details.
Steve, when's the members only live stream? We do the giveaway on the first Thursday?
First Thursday of every month. So we just did it on the first of this month. Plain Rock. I don't know if he's in the house tonight. He won.
I seen him.
The signed Derek Johnson jersey. So that's awesome. Glad he won it. I'm glad, I just like all of our members. I like the community we've built. So I think it's cool to give things away. The more, successful the channel gets, or the more we're able to financially do things like that, we would love to do more giveaways. I'd like to give away 3-4 things on each members only live and things like that. That'd be awesome.
Our next membership giveaway, though, we're going to do some all chiefed up merch, probably. So, and if we do that, we'll do at least probably 2, 3, 4 drawings for it. So yeah, Nikki says better to trade L'Jarius Sneed than watch him walk for nothing. That's what we've been saying, Nikki. If you're not going to sign him after this year, and you could use him let's just say a Danielle Hunter trade, you could do that. The Vikings need corner help, So
there's so many Chiefs fans that are convinced that L'Jarius Sneed just is like a guy that you can't let go. And I get it. We all love L'Jarius Sneed, and he's been great. What a great, valuable pick. What did we get him? 4th round. He's been awesome. He's been great. He's been our best corner, and I feel you, but we don't pay corners very often. Right. It'd be rare to do.
KL368 with the 5 bomb.
With the bomb. We need a name. So I don't have to read that off every time.
Sounds like KL. We'll just call you Carl Lucas the Third.
Now throw a name out there. No. My memory's not great, but I'll try to remember it.
Right. He says, I can't believe y'all started without me.
Bomb, though.
Thanks, Steve.
We had to, man. All these other people would have got mad. They were already saying that we were late, I think.
And he said, go Justin Ross. The Magic 8 going to help us repeat. Man, I hope Justin Ross looks good. I hope he does. For all of Chiefs Kingdom's sake and sanity, I hope he does well. Because if he comes out and sucks, we're going to have to put y'all guys on alert. I really think we're going to have you guys in a 24-hour lockdown.
Hey, we appreciate the 5, though, man. or gal. I don't know because it's the name. We need a name.
Right.
Mo Patriot says he likes my hat. And just real quick, Monarchs hat had to represent today.
It's a Monarchs kind of day, I guess. Lego My Ego throws up the merch link. Yeah, merch.allchiefedup.com. We got a lot of stuff over there. If you're a member, I think at the second tier membership, you actually get percentage off.
10%. Always
yes, you
10%.
get like 10% off. So
at the top level, Patrick Mahomes level, you get 20% off at all times. So that's just some of the perks there.
Right. Des says, curious what you guys think about Caleb Williams to Mahomes comparison. I hate when people compare people to Mahomes.
Yeah, there is no such thing as another Mahomes. I mean, I'll believe it when I see it. I think that Caleb Williams is a good quarterback, and I think he'll probably be successful. But is he Mahomes? No.
And honestly, are they only doing it because of his race and his hairstyle? That's what scares me about it. It's like, quit.
Yeah. What about Spencer Rattler? They kept saying he was Mahomes
Right.
just because he had curly hair and a headband.
Yeah,
But
Caleb
come
Williams is
on.
Caleb Williams, and he might be good. I would rather have Caleb Williams right now over like Kyler Murray, and Kyler Murray's supposed to be a top 15 quarterback. Hey,
Right.
give me the new guy. We've already seen Kyler Murray can't get it done.
Right. No kidding. Yeah, but yeah, dude, straight jackets for everybody if Justin Ross doesn't pan out.
Yeah.
We'll pass them out here on All Chiefed Up. We'll actually put some type of a straight jacket on the merch store if Justin Ross doesn't make this 53-man roster, just so you guys can keep yourself sane.
We'll do
Like,
a straight
trap yourself
jacket,
in a room.
and on the back it'll say "Bring back Ross" or something. Who knows?
David House says he just got a Royals hat in red, good for all season. That's freaking awesome. I've looked for a red one before and I didn't see it. I did see like a maroon color or a burgundy, and I almost bought that one. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, I wanted to get. You know what I want? I wish if somebody's got one of these, I will buy it from you. I want the Chiefs hat that they come out with a few years ago, and it's got like the floral pattern. You know what I mean? Like it looks like the shirts Andy Reid wears, and I just love those, and I can't find them anywhere. I think
Right.
they're discontinued, but I want one. So you guys help me.
Hey.
Be on a search.
I see y'all having your little convo in the chat here, but I want to bring this up. First of all, good to see you don't run. But he says that he hates to be the guy, but George is not good. You'll see. Are you talking about Karlaftis?
Dude, he's
You're
talking about
talking about
George
Karlaftis.
Jefferson. He's talking about George Jefferson.
Talking about somebody, because I think Karlaftis is gonna be the man.
Hey, look.
It's not like he's gonna be like astronomical, like off the charts type guy. But I mean, he's such a workhorse, man. Like he puts in the time, and I just think that he'll be successful.
Dude.
That's what happens if you
Look.
have that kind of a work ethic, you have that kind of motor, you have the will to do it.
You know who I
will
blame for this,
succeed,
Steve? You know who I blame?
RGR.
I blame Ryan Tracy and RGR, and I'm going to have a talk with Ryan. I'm calling him
Was
today.
Daniel in on that too?
And Daniel was in on it too. Those guys give George Karlaftis down the road, and they were wrong. And they will be the first to tell you, I think, right now.
I think
that
they
they're
admitted
wrong.
it. I think they backtracked it. I think
They
did.
better.
I mean, you kind of had to. He was pretty decent last year.
Steve, who
7
was
sacks as a rookie?
Who was Mike's number? I think I was my number one pass rusher that I said the Chiefs would get. George Karlaftis. Yeah. I was
Yeah.
always on the George Karlaftis train. And what did he do last year?
Yeah.
I think he had more sacks than who? The
He had
kid out
7
of
and more
Oregon
than-
that everybody loved. That went to the Giants.
Kayvon
Yeah.
Thibodeau. Yeah, he had more than him. He had more than Frank Clark had last year.
Dude,
fellas.
and
I
he
mean,
had so many that just went through the fingertips. Like if he would have
Yeah,
been
well, that's the thing about it. If George Karlaftis was blessed with the closing speed as like Kayvon Thibodeau or somebody like that, he would have went off last year. I gotta bring this one up. Julia Gulia says 20K subs and Steven Burns the Jacksonville Bengals hoodie.
Please.
I will get my Gap hoodie. I think it's a Gap hoodie. It's Banana Republic Gap, something like that. Maybe even Old Navy. I don't know. One of them. It's just a green hoodie, and it has a tiger on it. And Julia just absolutely hates it. And I will burn it for you at 20K subs, even though it's extremely comfortable and it probably wasn't cheap.
Chris, 5 gifted right. Throws out another 5 gifted. Chris is the man, dude. Jesse Gillespie, welcome to the membership. K Wayne is now a member. K Wayne, baby. Gang. Tyrone Christie. Scott Crosser is not. I just read that name wrong. Chiefs fan and Amani. Hey, man. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it. Everybody, be sure to thank Chris. He's the man.
Heck yeah, dude.
Jesse says Sneed has a 1,000 football IQ. He is good. Do not doubt L'Jarius Sneed, but I doubt the Chiefs' ability to want to pay corners. That's all I doubt.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
they
what
just don't
people
do
gotta
it.
Realize.
Yeah, because of this. Nick Jones quietly making a case.
Yeah, we got so many good
we
ones.
got
And
so many.
Dude, I'm telling you, the same way when Brian Cook was drafted and we were like, hey, Juan Thornhill's out of here. Like, that's why they drafted Brian Cook. And everybody's like, no, Juan's awesome. Juan's gone, isn't he? I think that's why they drafted Jamari Connor. So we'll see how that pans out.
Well, what else did they say? Binky, little Binky or whatever his name is.
Oh, Colin Saunders.
Yeah, Colin Saunders. He's having a career year, man. We got to extend him. No, ain't gonna happen. Gary says, Mike and Steve, do you guys feel the O-line will be top 3 this year? That's pushing it.
Good question. Good question. I think top 5 easily. They could. I don't know, man. Even with Orlando Brown and them last year, they were in the top 5 quite a bit. And as much as people hated our offensive line last year,
Steve, I got a question.
Crap on Orlando, they still managed to stay in that top 5 conversation.
I got a question. Chiefs Kingdom thinks Jawan Taylor was a better tackle than Orlando Brown Jr., and they think, without even seeing him play a game, he was a better left tackle than Orlando Brown Jr.
I'll tell you
that's not the question. The question is Donovan Smith a better left tackle than Orlando Brown Jr. in your opinion? Like, did we upgrade if Donovan Smith is the left tackle?
So Donovan Smith last year, no, he was not as good as Orlando Brown, but he was battling injuries. I think that Donovan Smith, when he's at his peak, is probably equal to Orlando Brown, maybe better. Just, I don't know. It kind of flip a coin on that one. But either way, man, like I said, even with that offensive line last year with Brown and what's his name over there on the right? I done forgot his name. He done left, and we don't care no more. What's his name? Went to Washington. Wiley.
Andrew.
Yeah. So those two, they managed to keep us in the top 5 last year. So yeah, Gary, I think that we could be a top 3 this year. We'll see how it goes. I don't think that the sentiment that Jawan Taylor is automatically a better left tackle than Orlando Brown, that's not true. I just don't. If I saw it and he was good, I would admit it. But just without seeing it, I can't say that. Right tackle, I think he's a really good right tackle. That's why he's one of the top paid right tackles in the game. And I think that that's a huge upgrade from Wiley.
Right.
But yeah, so overall, I think the offensive line got better because Donovan Smith is probably equal to Orlando Brown, at least, I would say, right around it. And then you've got a massive upgrade on the right side. We still got Joe Tooney, Trey Smith, Creed Humphrey, and we got all kinds of depth, man. Prince Tegawanoga, Lucas Niang, even though I don't care if he's here or not. I'm kind of Lucas Niang'd out. Darian Kennard, Nick Allegretti. There's
Lucas
just so many.
Good Lord. Can we quit with Lucas Niang? Like, have you ever watched that movie? What's that movie where they all go to high school with Lindsay Lohan and that girl's trying to make that word? She's like, fetch. And they're like, quit trying to make fetch happen. This is what I keep writing to Andy and them. I'm like, quit trying to make Lucas Niang happen. It's not going to happen. Get him out. Like, just get this dude out. Like, I swear, if he takes a roster spot this year, I'm going to be so angry.
Hey,
Like,
I got to pull this one up.
I don't get it.
I feel like I'm not picking on you, Don't Run. I promise. I'm really not. But he said our best left tackle is McKinnon. I'm not. It's just something that a lot of people say. This is something you'll see a lot of people say. Oh, McKinnon had to chip so much to help Orlando Brown. It's like, I promise you, they do that in every offense in the NFL. That's just something that running backs do. And they probably did it just as much as McKinnon did with the Chiefs on other teams with their running backs. That's just part of it. That's always been part of the game. Did he need maybe a little extra help with speed rushers? Yeah, that'd be fair to say. He did struggle with speed rushers. But man, I think that's overplayed. It's not 100% completely wrong, but it's not as big of a deal as some people make it out to be, I don't think.
Right. Yeah.
Brian Parrott. He says Darian Kennard is a better left tackle than OBJ. Man, I'll tell you what.
Parrott, no.
Darian Kennard was an absolute oak tree at right tackle in Kentucky. Great. But they were a run-heavy offense. And that's why you didn't see him last year, because even Brett Veach said out of his mouth, like, we knew that Kennard was coming in from a run-heavy offense. We know we pass the ball a lot. He's got to get better at his pass pro. He's got to get his footwork down. We got to give him some time. So I would not say you could slide him over to left tackle and he would be any better. Probably see the same type of fault, like kind of tough dealing with these speed rushers, man. Some of these guys are no joke coming off the edge. They are fast. I mean, we just looked at Danielle Hunter. He's a 4.5 40. You know, like you're talking about a guy that's 350 pounds, and Orlando Brown's probably more than that. The big boy. It's tough to keep up with them kind of guys. So that's kind of his downfall. So yeah, it is what it is. I'm excited about the offensive line though, and I'm I don't miss Orlando Brown by any means. So, I mean, I think our offensive line did get an upgrade. I just do.
Right. What's up, Evertrive Coffee? Good to see you. Haven't seen you here before.
What's going
if
on,
you're
man?
new, hit that sub button for us, brother. We're trying to get to 10K. He says, hey, guys, you think we might keep 7 wide? We talked about this a little bit earlier, but I'm guessing you just got here, so we'll go ahead and say it again. We think it's going to be between that fullback position is probably going to fall to a wide receiver, a DB, or maybe an offensive line, something like that. And it's a good possibility we take 7. I think it would be smart. I actually think it'd be smart to keep Jerry and Ely as the 7 because that gives you another running back. I really do. He also provides a lot of special teams. But, I think we keep 7. I mean, it's 6 or 7. Is there anybody you're trying to see make the cut line at number 7? Is that why we're trying to keep 7, number 6? I'm just curious because a lot of people that really want Justin Ross, it's like, well, we got to keep 7. Right. And it's like, I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, there's 122 guys in here right now. Guys and gals, if you don't care, could you take a split second to go hit that like button? It will help us get out into the algorithm a little bit better. More people get to see it. More people can come in and see what a beautiful Chiefs community we have building over here at ACU. So if you can just do that, that would be amazing. I'd like to see it get over 100 before this chat's over. That's usually what I like to go for there, baby. I think we're about 50. We're about halfway there right now. No, we're 67.
Hey, we just got our first like on Facebook. Like, what's happening? Facebook nobody on Facebook watches lives. It just don't happen. But if you guys are on Facebook and want to follow us over there too, because we post a lot of stuff over there, it's just / all chiefed up. Go find us, hit the like button, follow us, talk to them. There's a lot of trolls over there. So if you guys want to get in our content and troll people all day, I know Brian Parrott probably love to do that. Get over there, do that, follow us. Oh, we got another one. As soon as I mentioned it, I see you guys on Facebook. Giving you a shout out right now. But yeah, Gil with the 5 gifted. What's up, Gil? Good to see you here.
Gil's in the house.
Steve Atkins is a member now. He got one of the members. Let me see. My thing keeps going crazy. Red Fox 866 was given a membership. Good to have you. Hulsey. I hope I'm saying that right. Don't want to butcher it. Bart Harris and Russell Lee. All new names. So good to see you guys. Glad you're here. Get in the chat. Thank Gil. Gil's awesome. And also say hi to your boys over here. Like, we love to talk to you guys. No bad questions. No stupid comments. Unless Brian Parrott sometimes will say something
Lewis
crazy.
said he just shared the live stream with his friends. We appreciate that, Lewis. That's awesome.
Sorry, Brian. Not picking on you, bro.
Any little thing helps. Hitting that like button, sharing with your friends, everything like that. We're just trying to build up a good community here, and so far, so good. I feel accomplished when it comes to that because I enjoy talking to you guys. The couple times a week we get to get on, I always look forward to it because it's always a good time. Great people and good football talk. And there's not a whole lot going on with football right now. We all miss it. We're all a little sad about it because it's just so slow. So we can kind of have each other's backs at this dead time of year.
Right.
I've seen something where David House bringing up Matt Bushman. Taking Blake Bell's place. I don't know if he'll per se take Blake Bell's place as far as like Blake Bell's probably one of the best blocking tight ends in football. But Matt Bushman looked really good in OTAs. He looked really good in OTAs. He caught touchdown passes from every quarterback on the team. So, I mean, there's a lot of hype around him. And, at first I didn't see it, but the more I dig into it, I'm like, yeah, this kid, he could be on the 53-man roster. He really could. I still think that Noah Gray offers a lot more than people know. I think you'll see. I think you'll get a little heavier dose of Noah this year. I think he offers you some of what Kelsey does. Obviously, he's not on Kelsey's level. No one is, but he's very reliable. He catches the ball. He's athletic. He's big.
Right.
So I'm excited to see what happens with Noah this year.
Yep. Chiefs will chief. Good to see you in the chat, brother. Hit that sub button for us if you haven't subbed to the channel. We appreciate it. Also, Samuel Elson. I don't know where your comment went. My thing keeps going crazy. Here it
Boom.
is. Samuel Elson. What's up, man? Good to see you. If you haven't already, hit that sub for us. Trying to get to 10K. Who do y'all think is the biggest boom or bust besides Justin Ross? The biggest boom bust prospect. That's a good one. Here, this is weird, but I'm going to say it, and I could be completely wrong, and I hope I'm wrong, but it scares me just a little. Here's my biggest boom bust, Steve. Rashee Rice. And this is why.
I mean, it's possible.
Rashee Rice does not get a lot of separation. Well, he doesn't get a lot of separation. He's known to be a jump ball. He's a jump ball kind of guy.
Yep.
He's fast, but on game tape, he was not very fast. He drops a lot of balls. He drops way more than Sky Moore ever thought about dropping in college. There's just so
your hands, though.
there's so much about Rashee Rice that could be boom or bust. Like, he is that prototype boom or bust. A lot of people didn't even have Rashee Rice in their top 10 wide receivers, and we traded up and took him in the second round. So I think he is the definition of boom bust. Will he boom or bust? I think he's going to boom. But he's got the bust potential. Like, if we saw, because we've seen Sky Moore kind of struggle last year, and I think Sky Moore.
Mike,
what?
Do you know what booms?
I don't know.
The 10 bomb from Stephen James.
What's up, Steven?
There's your boom. Saturday nights, baby. Let's go. We appreciate you, Steve-O. Good to see you, man. We were talking about you on Cole's Live the other day. We were talking about the Eagle steers. So
yeah, we were talking about you making me drink that clabbered milk, bro.
He said, I know that guy. I know him. So you know.
For sure.
You're a popular man, Steve.
This is a momentous occasion, Steven.
Hey, we appreciate the 10, man.
Steven and Stephen James, momentous occasion. We now have 4 likes on Facebook. This is monumental.
That's crazy.
This is monumental.
Yeah. So we use StreamYard to stream, and you can put up to 3 different platforms. So I was always just throw it on Facebook and Twitter just so it's on there. If anybody does run across it, cool. If not, whatever. But yeah, normally it just you don't see much, but we'll take it.
Right. Croco Roar. Am I saying that right? He says Blake Bell, Steve, is one of the best blocking tight ends, but he doesn't offer anything other than blocking. So he don't even consider him a tight end. Hey,
you're forgetting something. He's a good quarterback sneaker.
He's a good sneaker.
I mean, he used to be a quarterback. He's a good sneaker. No, I'm with you. Blake Bell's not like the greatest receiving tight end, but he can do it. We've seen Blake Bell catch touchdown passes. Heck, even the playoffs on their first Super Bowl run.
I mean, honestly, Blake Bell is 4, right? He's got to be. He's behind Noah Gray. He's obviously behind Kelsey, and he's probably behind Fortson.
Do you think they have him behind Fortson? Do you think they have him behind Fortson?
He's got to be behind Fortson, especially with him having that injury last year and everything. Of course, I know Fortson gets injured too. Don't get me wrong. That's his problem, but Fortson is way more dynamic. I don't know. I would definitely have him above him. Who knows? Steve, who's your biggest boom bust? You didn't even give us one.
A boom bust? I mean, honestly, I don't know. Justin Ross is the obvious one, like he said. Let me think for 1 second. Another boom bust guy.
Brando says B.J. Thompson.
Yeah, that's a good one right there. Brando, I'm with you. B.J. Thompson's a boom bust guy. Because, I mean, let's be real here. He's got all the intangibles. He's a super athletic guy. He's super fast off the edge. He's bendy. He's exactly what we've all wanted to see in an edge rusher. But he's also a late round pick from the big school of Stephen F. Austin. So he's taking a massive step up to the NFL.
He played at Baylor. Give him a little credit.
He's taking a massive step up to the NFL. And I think it's a huge learning curve. And I'm with you, man. I think he could either come out and kind of fortify what everybody thinks. Like, look at what this guy can do. Or he could come out and bust. I mean, it is what it is. But are you really a bust if you were
right
5th rounder? I don't know.
Joe, good to see you here, man. He says if Bushman makes the team, he doesn't see how Fortson is still a Chief.
Yeah,
if it comes down between Fortson and Bushman, you're taking Jody Fortson all day, in my opinion. So I guess Bushman's not going to make the roster.
A lot of people seeing a lot of other stuff from Bushman, man. But I think what it is with Jody, it's kind of like the same thing with CEH. Like, dude, stay on the field. Like, everybody loves Jody. We know Jody is a weapon, but it's like, who knows what he can do? He plays 1 game a year.
6-footer. Good to see you, man. He says, I think Fortson's on the bubble. A lot of you guys got Fortson on the bubble. I get it. He stays injured and this and that, but we kept him last year, and it was a pretty good roster last year, and he made that. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, man. I don't see how you take him off the roster. He was down there working out with Mahomes and everything in the offseason, I think. So, I think they really like Fortson. I think they want to see what he can do when he's not injured. If he keeps injured all year this year, he might go. But I think he's got at least 1 more year for sure.
Lego's asking if we had any word on Blake Bell's surgery recovery or how that's been. Honestly, don't know. I haven't seen much about it. Hip surgery can't be easy to come off of, though. I don't know. I don't know if Reed mentioned. I know Reed had mentioned like Pacheco's surgery and how he would probably be out until at least camp and things like that. He wouldn't be doing much. But I haven't heard anything about Blake Bell. Maybe I missed it.
I haven't seen much about it. They're kind of being hush hush. This has been an off season of hush hushness. I've noticed. They're not being super transparent on certain things. It was an off season very weird when it comes to free agency. Like usually we sit back and just pick the scraps at the end, and this year Brett Veach is throwing out $80 million to the first tackle he comes across. So they've had a very like game plan that they're following. So that gives me a little bit of hope. I feel like they really strategized this offseason, and I think they'll do it. I mean, I think they'll go.
Yeah, I'm with Lewis though. Noah Gray's Kelsey's replacement. I think that's who they've had their eye on this whole time.
Right.
And that's just what I think it is.
Every tribe says, why didn't CH go to the White House? Was he not there? Did CH
he
really
not?
skip
No.
the White House?
Did he
I
really
don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get like a. There's no way. This guy cannot.
Like, what's the deal? Like everything you see, it's like he as far as I know, it's a good relationship with the teammates in Clyde. It looks like he gets along with them all. They all like him, like coaches like him, and they kind of let the one thing slide. But I mean, seriously, like when does this get ridiculous? Like, get on board, bro. Or
Dude,
get the heck out.
Yeah, who knows? Cole says, what about Felix? Is he boomer bust? I hope
That's a good one, actually. I almost said that, but I hate to say that about a first-round pick. But
I don't
the
think
thing
he's
about with
boomer
pass
bust.
rushers, you don't? I do, because I think that Felix, to me, he was one of the most polished pass rushers coming out of college this year. Like, I absolutely love the pick of Felix. I think he's got more in his arsenal than George Karlaftis thought about when he came into the league. And he's a little more bendy than the guys we usually get. He's a little faster. He just has a knack for getting to the quarterback. But the reason why I'm saying it could be a boomer bust pick is because he's an edge rusher. I mean, we've seen it. Like we were just talking about Kayvon Thibodeau earlier. He was supposed to go off the chain, and he had like 5 sacks last year. Pretty quiet for what they thought he was going to do. It's a different level of football. It's just a huge learning curve. You're playing bigger, faster, stronger guys, and I mean, it is what it is. Does your game translate to the big leagues?
If you do,
it's yet to be determined.
If you do boomer bust for his entire career, I'll give it to you. If you do it for just this season, I don't think he's boomer bust this season. I think we know exactly what we're getting.
I was saying
this year.
overall as well. I
think he's honestly looking to get somewhere around 4 to 5 sacks, and that's all they want or need out of Felix this year. And I think they're going to let him grow.
I'm still calling 8 from Felix, baby. I just feel it. I feel it in my bones.
8 just seems high. Well, definitely not 8 if we pull off the Danielle Hunter trade.
I feel it down in my plums.
Sam says he would like
for the Chiefs. Make me feel weird after saying that. Thanks.
Yeah. No, I'm joking. I would like to see Chiefs keeping 2 QBs instead of 3. Why does everybody think we're keeping Shane Buechele? Is he that good? I think they see a lot in Shane Buechele. Shane Buechele and Patrick Mahomes are like this, by the way.
Yeah.
Shane Buechele, little inside. You never heard about this. We know about it. We're in the state of Kentucky. He brought Shane Buechele and his wife to the Barnstable Brown party and to the Kentucky Derby. That was who was on the red carpet with him. You never seen anybody report that. It was Shane Buechele. Everybody kept being like, who's this guy? Nobody knew him. It was Shane Buechele and his wife. So they are very thick. Mahomes likes him. I just broke something. Other than that, yeah, I think the Chiefs like Buechele as like a dynamic guy. I think you bring in somebody like Henne and you bring in somebody like Blaine Gabbert now just because it's, hey, they're veterans. They can right the ship if need be. But I think Buechele, if he can get to that point, they may be just grooming him to be Patrick Mahomes' number 2 until he retires. Would you want to be Shane Buechele though and be Patrick Mahomes' number 2 and just stay somewhere where you can never start?
Dude, the best job in the entire all of America and the history of the world is backup quarterback. Third string quarterback's even better because you may never see the field, but you get literally sideline tickets to NFL games every week. You get treated like a king all the time, and the pay's pretty daggone good even at the league minimum. So I think that I would want to be that. I would want to be that.
Yeah. Did you catch Juju Smith-Schuster at the White House, Steve?
Juju was there.
Why is
Frank was there.
Him and Lil Poppy are like the same person, by the way. Like people that didn't like Juju's attitude, Pacheco's the same attitude, man. Like, they just love TikTok. Like, they dance. Pacheco's dancing up and down it's crazy. They love TikTok. But you know what? I think to me, that don't show, I don't dislike that. To me, that, I think it shows their personality. They're just like young at heart. Like they like to play the game. They like being there. I don't see it as ever being negative when people's just like, Juju loves TikTok. It's just, I don't know. To each their own, I guess. But
yeah, who cares? I don't care what people do off the field. It don't matter to me. As long as they're not being crazy. As long as they're not pulling some crazy stuff.
Michael Juden. What's up, Michael?
What's up, Michael?
Good to see you here. If you've not subbed already, go ahead and hit that sub button, brother. We're trying to get to 10K. He says Ryan Tracy did retract his take on George. When will Mahomes learn to go to high percentage plays on thirds down instead of low percentage passes that ends drives? Mahomes does do that a lot.
That's a good question, Michael.
He really does.
First of all, I did think that Ryan retracted. I did. I think they came around on George. George is just hard not to like because his work ethic is so good. He's just a good guy in general, high character, crazy work ethic. You can tell. I mean, even in the offseason, he's been getting with Tom Bahali. He just wants to be good. You saw him working with Frank Clark last year. And when he's on the field, you know you're getting 110% from George every snap. Like his motor's high and he's going to give it his all. That's all I can ask for from a Chief. Like, get out there and do your thing, man. Don't half-ass any. And he don't. And I think as a fan, you have to love that. But, yeah, Mahomes, he does tend to do that from time to time. Is it Mahomes completely? Is it his decision-making or is it sometimes the play calling? Maybe that's what they're rolling with on that certain play. But I agree. I feel like there's a lot of third downs that things are weird because we'll question the play calling usually. That's what we'll do. We'll see something funky happen and we're like, what the hell kind of call was that on 3rd and short or even 3rd and 5 or whatever? Like, what was that? But I agree, Michael. I think there's room for improvement there. And it'll come with experience. I mean, we all saw Patrick Mahomes transform from 2 years ago to last year. He went from being that Patrick Mahomes that had to throw the ball down the field, that just had to go for the home run play every time, that could not resist the cover 2 shell. He had to throw into it and about get the ball picked off all the time. We saw that change this year. He was a lot more patient. He was taking what the defense was giving him, letting his guys create after the catch. I think he'll do the same thing this year because I still think there's going to be teams. We have MVS on the team. Whether you like him or not, dude's super fast. He's a deep threat. So you're still going to see that kind of a defense from a lot of teams. So I think you'll see a lot of Sky Moore hitting the soft spot in the zone, catching a 10-yard pass, creating after the catch, things like that. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it'll come. It'll come.
I think a lot of it's a double-edged sword, too. Andy sometimes likes to get aggressive on 3rd short, 4th and short. And then a lot of people, you know, if he doesn't, he starts getting conservative. We start looking more like the Alex Smith days. That was his knock. You know, he won't take the shot. He won't do this. I think there's a fine line because a lot of people are like, well, that's Mahomes, man. He's the best quarterback to ever play the game, possibly. You got to put it in his hands. You got to let him try to create. So I get what you're saying, but I also think from everybody, it's just hard to – and I think a lot of that they do because they're expecting us to do some underneath stuff, and then they expect the wide receiver to go win a deep ball or something, you know. So I get it for sure. I'm going to answer Brian's question. Who stinks worse, the Raiders or YouTube? You know, there's times that YouTube kind of sucks, but I'll say the Raiders.
Nah, Raiders. Man, and their fans. Their fans suck. Stink, whatever you said. Lewis Cutbirth said, let's see. Okay, they're talking about Ryan Clark. Apparently he said that the Chargers have a new offensive coordinator and they'll sweep the Chiefs this year. Surprise, surprise. Wrong.
Kellen Moore.
Man, those guys, they're morons. They're slap nuts.
Do you think Kellen Moore is that big of a difference maker?
No. You know what I think about Kellen Moore? I think he's a slap nuts.
He's definitely a slap nuts.
Just because. This is the wrong place at the wrong time. You're slap nuts now, Kellen Moore. Just that's how we roll.
Right.
Man.
What's up, Robert? Good to see you, brother. Hit that sub if you haven't. We're trying to get to 10K. I get tired of saying that, but I'm just going to keep doing it. The Belldozer.
Like a used car salesman.
Why not? Got to get the 10K somehow, baby. The Belldozer is irreplaceable in our red zone offense and a first down catch when we really need it. On top of that, he's one hell of a locker room leader. Yeah, I think Blake Bell offers a lot. That's why they brought him around. I think Blake Bell makes the team this year. I don't see how he don't. I mean, I think a lot of people think that they like Bushman and this and that, and they may. But if Bushman goes to your practice squad, are they gonna? Is anybody taking him? No, he's in our squad all last year, didn't he? Pretty much. So who knows?
Bushman.
Matt Bushman.
Yeah.
I think he might have had an injury though, didn't he?
My thing with Blake Bell is like obviously Andy trusts him. They keep signing the guy back. He even left and went to the Jets for a year, and we went back after him. I think they find his blocking valuable, and I think he does some things in the red zone that some other guys don't. He finds little holes, and
Samuel,
like you said, he can sneak the ball when needed, all kinds of stuff.
Samuel. He said he wanted Darnell Washington third. You know what we've decided about Darnell Washington? He's a
Everybody
slap
put it
nut.
in the chat. Let everybody know.
Yeah. I don't look. Here's what I think Darnell Washington.
Chiefer's going to bed. Good night, Chiefer.
Good night, Chiefer.
Get some sleep, buddy.
I think Darnell Washington had potential to do something, but to be honest, I think he's going to block more and he's going to catch passes, and he's got
never
bad
gonna
knees.
do a whole lot.
Yeah, he's got pretty bad knees. That's why he fell so far in the first place. Do you really think Darnell Washington was going to come to KC and do anything Andy Reid wanted? Like, he's so far from Kelsey. It's not even, they're not even on the same planet with their athletic ability. So I don't know. I mean, it's cool that you like him. I didn't dislike him, but I'm just saying, like, yeah, he's a slap nut.
I thought he was an interesting guy as far as tight end goes, but it's just sometimes those guys are like astronomically large. Like even what was the dude's name that was the tackle from Ohio State?
Paris Johnson? Oh, you're talking about DeJuan Jones.
DeJuan Jones. Yeah, it was Ohio State.
Paris Johnson was Ohio State.
Yeah, I know. DeJuan Jones. Same with him. Like sometimes those astronomically big guys, like they got issues, man. I just hate to say it. Like bad knees, this and that. There's a lot that comes along with it.
Thanks, Jan. Member for 1 month.
Jan,
member.
Jan also dropped a 20 bomb.
She drops a 20 bomb.
Boom.
Appreciate you, Jan.
Jan, you're awesome.
Yeah, Jan's awesome.
We love that you've been around since day one, supporting like crazy. We appreciate you a ton, for sure.
Yeah, for sure, Jan. We appreciate you. We'll get back to KL's question. He says, "Are you guys worried about Richie James? The lack of noise coming out?" I don't think Richie. I don't think Richie James is like. I don't think he's one of those guys that like we just think he's a top 4, top 5 guy, like set in stone. He's the guy that like Veach liked, and I think they're taking a shot on him, and they think he might have some upside, and he may do some special teams work, but they're not really running a lot of special teams stuff. We'll see.
Gil with a 10 gifted. We appreciate you, Gil. You're the man.
Gil. Appreciate you, Gil. Let me try to read some of these then, if it will let me do it. John Clifford is a member. Rock Chalk Chief member. Midnight GTCS member. Timothy. Amelia Garcia. Love Share. Love Hair. It's Love Hair. Sorry, I put an S in there.
Love Share.
Chris Cheeks, Tyler Helton, Blonde Fox 315 are all new members. Appreciate it. You guys be sure to thank Gil. He's the man.
Welcome aboard.
And welcome aboard. Welcome to the all chiefed up train. So whatever we
still
call
gotta
it.
name it. We still gotta name it, baby. The Misfits was pretty popular. A lot of people like the Misfits. We kind of thought about making a play off the Misfits. We'll see. We'll get it. But I said we're picking it soon. So anybody got any ideas what to name our members? Make sure to put them down there because we're gonna pick one this week. That's my goal. This coming week.
Yeah, that should be a good goal. I think by the next Saturday night tailgate we should reveal what our names are. Our members' names. Maybe we should just give ourselves a deadline. Yeah. Force it on us.
Yeah, because we talk about it a lot and we haven't pulled the trigger, and it's time to do so. I think everybody puts out their ideas and we go with the one that sticks, man. That's what I'm saying. We can get you guys some exclusive member merchandise. And it'll be cool.
Yeah, I think we're actually talking about that. We kind of want to put up some exclusive member merchandise. We think that would be pretty cool. I don't really know what to do with that though. Like if we throw it in the store, then people that are not members can still buy it. So it's almost got to be just like a giveaway type thing. So we'll have to figure that out.
We'll figure it out, Mike. Don't you worry your little head. We'll take care of it.
Curtis says you should just call them the Slapnutters.
The Slapnutters?
There's a certain group of people that want to be called the Slapnuts, and a certain group of people say that they don't want to be the Slapnuts. I don't think it's always derogatory if we called our own people the Slapnuts. I mean, does Cole call his people the Dillweeds?
No, we can't do that. The tailgaters, of course. The tailgaters ain't bad either. Saturday night tailgaters. Yeah, I don't know. There's so many good ones. I like a lot of them. We'll see what sticks. We're going to throw some at the wall and see what sticks.
Later, Jesse. Have a good night, man.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Wait.
Good little stream so far.
Spicy. Scott says 1,000. Says Chris Jones won't be there next week for mandatory OTAs. I don't think Chris Jones will hold out.
Does someone take that bet?
Who's taking the bet?
Chris Wright, will you take that bet? No, I'm just kidding. I ain't I'm not, you know.
Look, I got an idea.
I'm not promoting gambling.
Somebody take the bet, and whoever wins, we'll just say you donate it to me. I mean, that's a win-win, right?
It's for charity. No,
it's for charity. The charity of Mike. Steve, we're up to six likes on Facebook. This is the most monumental occasion in the world. This is crazy.
Dude. Let's see what kind of likes we got here on the old YouTuber.
Oh,
Looks like around 80. Let's get it to 100. If you guys haven't hit that like button yet, you guys haven't hit it yet, go hit it. Don't Run says he'll take the $1,000 for everybody. He'll make sure that it gets where it needs to go.
Okay.
Man. Yeah, Gil. He said he was going to post a picture of something on the Discord, a phone case or something. Yeah, do that. I want to see it. But also, if you guys know anything about Discord or want to be on our Discord, we'll get a link for that. Or maybe one of you guys might have it and can the invite link, throw it in the chat for everybody. Still in the infant stages over there. A little slow, but we'll eventually build that up. It's cool to be able to talk to everybody whenever, you know. Don't have to be on the live stream.
Yep. Samuel says, what would legitimate compensation for Danielle Hunter trade look like? Would we have to give up a lot like Sneed?
Possibly.
We think Sneed, to the average team, Sneed's probably worth a 5th-round pick tops.
Yeah. Other people in the NFL, like other teams and other fans even, they don't value L'Jarius Sneed like we value L'Jarius Sneed.
Well, I mean, that doesn't even really matter. Look at all these other guys. Like, what did there's lots of guys get traded, and at the end of the day, you're like, they got him for a 4th, 5th, 6th-round pick? Like, this is crazy. So I feel like they just see it as, you know, they got to give up a restructure. Sneed and, like, say, Sneed and a 3rd, Sneed and a 4th, maybe Sneed and a 4th could get it. But I think that's unlikely. Clyde, you'd have to give up a 2nd or a 3rd with Clyde, easily. If you didn't put any players in it, I think they're, at minimum, going to want a 2nd. But, again, to be honest, where are we picking?
Yeah.
We're picking dead last every year, baby, because we're the Super Bowl champs. So if you tell me number 63, 66, I'm taking that for Danielle Hunter all day. He's proven. Like I said, we traded up in the 2nd round for Rashee Rice, and we called him boomer bust. So you don't know.
You got to do it.
I mean, good Lord, Mecole Hardman was the 2nd-round pick. We see how that turned out.
Yeah. KL says Richie James could easily be the next Kenny Galladay. Not his crazy drop, of course. I don't see that. Aren't they two different kind of guys? Like, Richie James is like 5'9", pretty small. Isn't Kenny Galladay like 6'4" or something? He's a pretty big dude.
He's a big guy. Like, hey, he's still on the free agency wire, man. Nobody's offered Kenny Galladay.
Well, I mean, he fell off a cliff. Like, he just literally fell off the cliff. Like, everybody thought he was going to do something, and it was over.
Lewis has infiltrated Facebook. He's over here and YouTube. Dang it, Lewis. I like that F by your name. I'm going to make Lewis my Facebook, like, what is it? My Facebook team builder, and we'll just let you get the Facebook going for us. Look, Lewis, it's your job to get 100 people watching on Facebook every live stream, Lewis. That is my challenge. Yeah, it's not going to happen. Michael says, if Kelsey is schemed out on 3rd down, who is the most reliable on 3rd down?
DeAndre Hopkins.
D-Hop, baby. Okay.
Hot take, baby.
So if D-Hop's not here, who's the most reliable?
I'm just kidding. Sky Moore.
Sky. I can see MVS doing it too. Big body.
Sky's got the best hands on the team, probably.
Yeah, Sky's got really good hands.
Yeah, I think he's going to surprise a lot of people. A lot of people just were sleeping on Sky. Like, if you really look back at his college tape and what he was able to do there, I mean, it's just we didn't get to see a lot of what he could do last year. He had limited snaps and things like that. So I think.
I mean, if it's red zone, it's McKinnon. I mean, it's that simple.
Yeah. Well, any leaking running back
Kip Carnes agrees. McKinnon. Lon Hoffman agrees. McKinnon. Yeah, it's one of those. But David says third down Sky for sure. Yeah. Oh,
Who's
David
more
House
over-
says. Sorry, go ahead.
What? No.
David
I was
Howe-
just gonna say.
Okay, go ahead. We're just gonna sit here and do this all night. Okay, go ahead. Why won't this work? You got your button clicked? Good Lord, dude.
No.
What is wrong with you? I think he meant
Oh,
career-wise
career-wise.
about Kenny Galladay.
Well, I hope he does better. I hope he
God.
doesn't like fall off a cliff.
Can't be any
Good
worse.
grief. Yeah. I forgot what I was gonna say now. Oh, do you guys think this like? Don't take this the wrong way because I like Jerick McKinnon, but do you guys feel like he might be the most overrated Chiefs player among Chiefs Kingdom? Do you think that? Like, who would be? Like, if you could pick one, like, who does Chiefs Kingdom like overhype the most? No Justin Ross.
Ross.
Don't even say. I just said no Justin Ross. I'm talking about a guy that's played on the football field. Like, do you think it's Jerick McKinnon because he was able to catch so many little touchdown passes last year?
No, this is going to surprise a lot of people.
Who do you think?
I think it's L'Jarius Sneed.
I was going to say, is it Sneed or
I
is
like
it McKinnon?
L'Jarius
Or who you
Sneed.
picking?
I really do. But let's look at Sneed. Sneed gets burnt a lot. He got
Don't
burned in the
run.
Super Bowl.
You will stop dogging on George Karlaftis, man.
Right.
Give that boy a
Yeah,
chance.
Sneed
He's gonna
got burned
show
in the
you.
Super Bowl. He let up a big touchdown in the Super Bowl. He just got right behind him, let
Well,
it go.
It happens. It happens
Okay,
to a
I
lot
get
of
it.
corners. But
What did he
that's
do in the
whatever.
AFC Championship game? He knocked himself out on the second play because he don't know how to tackle properly. He's got his problems. Now, I do think Sneed's good. Sneed is valuable and Sneed's good. I think our defense changed a lot against Seattle when we started putting Sneed and shadowing him to the number one. That was a good idea by Spags. But I don't think L'Jarius Sneed is like as so hyped as Chiefs Kingdom makes him out to be. I just don't.
Right.
He does
Well,
get a
my
lot
thing-
of like sacks, but I mean, I don't judge a corner based off his sacking ability.
I'm with the like as far as the Jerick McKinnon thing goes. Like the only reason I say that is because I mean, really, like if Jerick McKinnon was not on the team and they replaced him with another vet running back that could pick up blitzes, like, do you think it would be that much different? Like, I don't know. I mean, I could be completely on the wrong side of the fence here, but I think he's got to be my pick. Brian Pierce's Sky Moore. It's kind of hard to be overhyped when they're underhyping that man. We get to see what he's going to do this year first. Brad says KT. That's probably a good pick. He just has trouble staying healthy. So, but if he can prove us all wrong this year, I think the sky's the limit for KT. Like, he could be a beast.
David says McDuffie. You really think McDuffie's overhyped?
Well, McDuffie's locked down. I think McDuffie's going to be
like
one of the best corners in
McDuffie.
football within the next couple of years. Yeah. He's too good. They don't even want to throw at the guy.
Don't Run says they like Sneed because he can tackle, unlike our most recent corner.
Sneed misses a lot of tackles too. He'll go after it though. I will give him that. He'll go after it. He'll
go
give himself
after
a
it.
concussion.
Yeah. He'll knock himself out.
But no, I like Sneed. I really do. The whole thing with Sneed though, it's just we don't pay corners, and he's on a contract year. Michael, he says Ryan Tracy loves him some Sneed.
Of course he
But
does.
If we could trade him this year, we could get ? Well, for instance, Danielle Hunter, or like it depends. Where do you go with it? What do you add in the deal? What do you take away from the deal?
I mean, do you think the
There's a lot
Vikings
of different things that
honestly
you could?
would you take if you were the Vikings, would you honestly consider getting rid of Danielle Hunter for Sneed? I mean, you're gonna have
Absolutely
to
not.
throw in what? A third round pick?
Clyde and Sneed.
Second round pick?
Clyde and Sneed. You think they
I
might go
still
for
don't
that?
take it. No.
I don't
take
either
that
because
at
I mean
all.
they're. Yeah,
I just don't think these
I don't
players
know,
are
man.
that valuable. Why does Ryan Tracy
Well,
love Sneed so much? I mean, I
I don't-
get
a lot of
it.
people-
I understand
a lot-
Sneed,
dude,
but
Sneed's in that like the most overrated Chief conversation. Like, because he is good. Like, same with Jerick McKinnon. They're invaluable players. They have been amazing over these last few years. Like, I'm not knocking them whatsoever. So don't get that twisted.
you know what I think
But
it is?
I feel like, yeah, like what makes them such fan favorite? Like
I think
like,
it's the
what
fact that he was
shoots 'em up
drafted
that high?
late, and he's turned into be something good.
The value in him.
The value
Do you think
of the
that
pick.
What about Jerick McKinnon? You think it's kind of the comeback story? Like he just stayed hurt his whole career, never really panned out, and then we get him and he becomes a valuable asset.
Right.
Protects Patrick Mahomes, catches some touchdown passes.
He blocks. He caught a lot of touchdown passes last year, and then he takes the knee in the Super Bowl. He does the things that make him a fan favorite. I don't think it's necessarily what it is on the football field that does it a lot.
Right. Well, David, they don't have to pay Hunter. I mean, he's only owed $5.5 million this year, so. I mean, if they wanted to restructure, it's something to look at.
He's technically locked up for 3 more years. Like, is he gonna hold out for 3 years if you don't restructure him? He might be able to decline the trade. Maybe he could do that. What?
So Sam says, would it be crazy if Ely looks better than McKinnon and we cut him and keep Ely this year, or is McKinnon definitely locked for making the roster? I'd say this year, Sam, he's a lock for making the roster. But I think that's your future play for that position. I've said it over and over again. Like if all of you guys that have been in here for the long haul on the channel, I've been saying this for a year now. Jerick McKinnon, when he's gone, I think Jerry and Ely is that guy that you can slide into his place. He was the best receiving running back in football, in college football 2 years ago. Drop rate's phenomenal. Dude's fastest guy on the field. When we went to camp last year, he was the fastest guy on that field. I'm counting McCole Hardman, everybody out there. Jerry and Ely was the fastest guy out there. Just flat out, wasn't he, Mike?
Yeah, he was.
He just looked faster. Yeah, and he can play the running back position. He was a running back. They haven't listed as wide receiver, but he can play the running back position. I think that he needs to get – my whole thing is that I think if you can get him on the roster this year, if you can fit him on the 53-man, he gets to work with Jerick McKinnon, gets to gain all that knowledge from Jerick McKinnon, gets to see learn how to pick up these blitzes, learn how to protect Patrick Mahomes when he needs to. And as far as the receiving and running the ball part, I think he's already on Jerick McKinnon's level somewhat if you take out the experience factor. I mean, physically gifted – and talented, I think he's right there. It's just going to take some time. So I don't think this year's the year, but it definitely could be a long play.
Right. People are still fighting over McDuffie. People are thinking
McDuffie's a beast.
McDuffie's good. If you told me right this second, you have to sign for the next 4 years, you get McDuffie for 4 years, you get L'Jarius Sneed, I'm taking McDuffie all day. Call me crazy, I'm taking McDuffie all day. I don't know.
McDuffie's I'm telling you guys, he's gonna quietly be one of the best corners in football within the next 2 years. You wait. The dude as a rookie, no one wanted to throw at him.
Dude, yeah, nobody threw at him. That's why you didn't hear about him.
The only time you even seen him let up catches really was when Jamar Chase was shoving him all over the field because they allow that kind of thing.
Right.
When Cincinnati's playing.
Scott says Sneed's borderline Pro Bowl. He shut out the better wide receivers last year. Good blitz, hard hitter. Sneed is a stud. Sneed is good.
Very good.
I just think Sneed's got a lot of he's got a lot of things that don't make him untouchable. That's all I'm saying. Like everybody's acting like Sneed is like Ty Law in his prime. No.
Well, no, the thing about it is it's not even that he's like overhyped. I think the talent wise, he deserves some of the hype.
Right, he's good.
Because let's be honest, man, Sneed's been awesome. He's been freaking awesome. We couldn't ask more out of that guy. But the only issue that we have with Sneed is going to be it's his contract year. He's going to garner a pretty good deal coming up. He's probably going to want a good 5-year deal, getting paid pretty good. I mean, what happened at your various ward when that happened? You know, I mean, we don't pay corners.
Right. I get it.
Not saying we won't. There's a first time for everything.
Lewis says second round pick Sneed and Clyde for Hunter. It's a little rich. It's a little rich. I mean, honestly, you're not getting Clyde anymore after this season. I take Hunter for the second round pick anyway, but that's where the Sneed comes in. If Sneed's better, so that's like giving up a second. That's like giving up 2 seconds for Clyde, or 2 seconds and Clyde for Hunter, or something like that. I can't do that. Who knows? Whatever. I don't even think we all talk about these trades, and I just honestly don't think Veach is going to pull the trigger on any of it. I really
Probably
don't.
not. I mean, it's interesting though.
Veach
you have to
is
admit
sitting
it's
at home.
interesting, especially like the
Look, Veach is sitting home twiddling his thumbs. He won't call me. He won't go have barbecue with me. He won't have a pizza. He won't go to the sports bar and have some wings. He just wants to sit home, twiddle his thumbs.
Get it together, Veach.
And not trade for nobody.
I think he was on our chat earlier. Where's he at?
Right.
Veach, if you're still out there, tell us why you're not doing this.
Come on, Veach. Michael says, how come nobody gives the DE from Georgia on our team any hype? I can't even remember his name.
Malik Herring.
You're talking about Malik Herring. He'll be cut this year.
Well, they gave him a lot of hype.
Yeah, I think
they
he'll
gave him
be
a lot of
gone.
hype around camp last year. Everybody thought he was going to make the roster. I don't think so. I think he might be a practice squad guy at most.
Yeah, I think this is probably the year he's gone. We're getting, I don't want to say we're deep, but when you draft, we've now drafted
Joshua Kando.
Yeah, Kando.
But
But we've now,
your time is up.
yeah, we've now drafted a defensive end in the first round 2 straight years, and we signed Omenihu in the offseason. Yeah, I think it's just not. Morgan says Sneed's good, but he needs to stop tackling his damn head.
Yeah, that's true. We like to give him crap for that because that's the truth. He took himself out of the Bills game. Was it the Bills game? Or no, the Bengals? Who was it?
The AFC
Who did he
Championship. He played 2 snaps.
Was the AFC Championship game against the Bengals? Just completely smashed his head off.
So that's what I'm saying. How good is Sneed if he can't be on the field when the games count? Like, come on. Stay on the field,
No,
bro.
I mean, he can't completely control that situation, but yeah, he got to quit tackling with that head, though.
You can control how you tackle. Quit tackling with your head. Get your head up. Like, you can definitely do that.
Hey, things happen sometimes, man. It's snap sometimes, you know?
Yeah,
Hey, at least he was trying to make the play.
He's going to snap his
Gotta give
skull
him-
if he don't get his head up, and I don't want to see that happen. So let's get the head up. Let's be safe about it.
Man, but yeah, I mean, overall, this roster, I've said it over and over again, but I'm excited for this offseason because I'm excited for, like, camp to get going and things because I want to see how this roster shakes out, like, just straight up, because there's such good competition in a lot of different position groups, a lot of different scenarios that make sense. There's a lot of things we can talk about over and over again, like how many wide receivers are they going to take? Which ones are not going to make the cut? How many running backs? Which ones are going to make the cut? Do they take, somebody like Geely? We don't know. We're going to see.
Hey,
it's going to be awesome.
That's a funny comment, but I think McDuffie's hamstrings hold up better than KT. Let's be honest.
McDuffie had one injury.
Yeah,
we can't call him that yet. Good grief.
Scott says we didn't spend 2 first-round picks on DEs to go get Danielle Hunter. I see what you're saying, but I just don't think. I think pass rusher is. That's why the teams will take pass rushers over and over and over. You can never have too many. Like we said, we don't even know if Felix is going to make it, and plus you got to go with injuries. There's lots of things, man. Who knows?
Well, this is something we've talked about quite a bit too. Is they like to have that veteran pass rusher. I mean, if you look back, I've said it probably 15 times in the last week, but if you look back to Super Bowl 54, is that what we won? I don't even remember at this point of the night.
Super Bowl 54?
Yeah, so if you look back to that, you had Terrell Suggs, and then after that, you ended up with Melvin Ingram. We saw Carlos Dunlap last year. Like, they like to have a good veteran pass rusher, whether it's just a rotational guy or just somebody there to kind of be a leader on that line. We lost Frank Clark. He's obviously going to be playing with the Donkeys this year. So we don't really have a veteran edge rusher right now. We really don't. I feel like they will think that's a hole they need to fill. So I could see them bringing in another edge rusher of some caliber. Will they make it as much, as big of a splash as Danielle Hunter? I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised. But I don't know if there's any, I know Justin Houston's still on the market, but there's a lot of people that are against that. But
well, that goes with this.
I don't know who else is still out there.
Would you take Dunlap for a friendly $3 million deal or Danielle Hunter? But I told you we had to give up second rounders 2024 and 2025. Or Sneed in a second. Yeah. I don't know if Dunlap's wanting to come back. Dude, he just posted up something yesterday at the White House.
And
he was he was talking about a business and maybe being like a billionaire.
Yeah.
Like, he's got some big goals. I don't know what they are, but it don't sound like football might be a part of it. Yeah,
man, I mean, he's been playing a long time. He's put on a lot. I mean, he hit the
Joe says,
mark,
Joe says the Vikings are dumping salary, so it's possible they'll release Hunter like they did Cook. I'd wait to see that happens, but if not, I think they'd take less for Hunter than we're thinking.
I don't think they dump him for 5.5, but the problem is he's wanting to be extended. That's where they're having trouble.
He's wanting the contract rework because, like I said, it goes 5.5 this year. Next year, he's worth 11 to 13, and then it goes back to 5. So by the time he's going to be 31 playing on $5 million, he wants to go somewhere and finish a career. So he wants 4 or 5 years. I don't think it would be crazy to get Danielle. Okay, look, you got to ask yourself this question. Would you rather pay L'Jarius Sneed for a 4-year deal for whatever his market value is going to be? And like you guys said, he's borderline Pro Bowl. The Chiefs value him. It's going to be close to $60, $70 million by the time it's done. I'd guarantee that. Would you rather pay that kind of money to him, or would you pay it to Danielle Hunter? I'd rather pay it to a pass rusher all day, every day.
Yeah. They're not going to pay a corner that
We're too loaded at corner. Yeah, we're too loaded at corner.
Yeah, let's move on. Philly says, could you guys see us signing Justin Houston back as a vet for us? Yes. I know there's a lot of bad blood, apparently. A lot of people don't like that idea, but I think if they could reconcile that, why not? He fills that role of the veteran pass rusher. He's still being productive. He had 12 sacks last year, and it's full circle. Come back to the Chiefs, maybe win you a ring, retire. Michael, no. Let's see.
Hey, Night Hunter's in the house. I just want to say hey to Night Hunter.
Oh, what's up, Night Hunter?
What's up?
How you doing, man? Good to see you. Philly says, before the Mahomes era, who is your favorite Chief and why? Derek Thomas, because he's Derek Thomas. That's my answer.
I like a lot of them. I like the Dick Vermeil years. I thought they were fun.
I really liked Jamal Charles, though. It's hard not to like JC, baby. He was fun.
Do you remember the Dick Vermeil years where we almost went undefeated and then we lost to the Bengals, which I hate. I was at that game.
You were there.
Absolutely hate it. I wanted to kick a little kid in the bridge, over the bridge.
River.
He was talking trash to me all game. He followed me. He talked trash across the entire bridge. I wanted to pick him up, dump him off the bridge. I didn't do it. I don't know. I tell you what.
You held it together.
I didn't. Hey, Gil says he just replaced his ACU t-shirt because his daughter stole his last one. Your daughter has good taste, Gil. We like your daughter.
Awesome. Which shirt was it? I want to know which one she stole from you. Hey, we have some girl shirts on there, for summer. I know they don't get bought a lot because, that's not really our demographic, I guess. But if she's interested in something like that, they're on there, and they're not too bad, I don't think. KL with the 10 bomb. Did we ever get a name?
I didn't see one.
I'm gonna miss
unless we got passed.
Throw the name out there. We appreciate the 10, man. That's awesome. And it says, guess these cornerback stats from the playoffs: targets, receptions, yards. Number 1, 15 targets, 10 receptions, 165 yards. 2, 8 targets, 5 receptions, 34 yards. And 3, 21 targets, 15 receptions, 173 yards. And finally, 4, 16 targets, 13 receptions, 144 yards.
Are they all from the Chiefs? Yeah,
if that's our guys, here's what I'm going to guess. In the playoffs. So they probably didn't take many shots at McDuffie because no one does. I'm going with the 8 targets for 5 receptions, 34 yards. Trent McDuffie. I think that
I would agree.
15 targets, 10 receptions, 165 yards. Oh, Joshua Williams. Number 3, 21 targets, 15 receptions, 173 yards. L'Jarius Sneed. And number 4, 16 targets, 13 receptions for 144 yards. Jalen Watson. Do you agree?
Do you have to be corners? Are they definitely corners?
It says cornerback stats.
Okay, gotcha. I'll agree with McDuffie. 8 targets, 5 receptions, 34.
L'Jarius Sneed lets up a lot of passes. That's actually one of his stats.
That's one of his knocks. I think Sneed's definitely 3 or 4 in my opinion, but it's probably a trick question. And Sneed's probably 2, just to make us look dumb.
There's no way.
Yeah, 21
targets. 34
targets.
yards on one pass where he didn't cover in the Super Bowl. Come on.
That's true. Yeah. I'll say 10 receptions, 165. Number 1. Jeez, that's
1,
tough.
Joshua Williams.
I think that's one
2,
of the rookies.
Trent McDuffie.
Yeah, I'd say
Joshua
Williams.
Trent McDuffie, L'Jarius Sneed, Jalen Watson. That's what I'm going with. Mike,
1 and 4 could be swapped. Either way. But that's going to be Watson and Williams. But yeah, I somewhat agree. We're probably completely
Chris
wrong.
Wright with the 5 gifted. We appreciate you, Chris. You're awesome. You know that. Night Hunter with the 5 gifted. You guys are flying these around. Gil come in with a 10 gifted. You guys are amazing. Absolutely awesome. And of course, KL. Did we get the name yet? Let me scroll up. I keep missing it.
Stupid Noah was gifted membership.
Do you love anonymity?
Maybe.
They don't want to know.
Tony Ross is now a member. Alicia Marie. What's up, Alicia? Nicholas King. What's up, Nick? Not a Chinese guy. Can I even say that? Did we just get canceled? Okay. No, maybe not. Maybe he's just not Chinese. I don't know. Let's see.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I guess
You're allowed to be
not-
other things.
Yeah.
You're allowed to be other things.
1 was Watson, 2 was Williams, 3 was McDuffie, 4 was Sneed.
We were wrong on all accounts.
I said that
So
Watson could be
Williams
first.
shut down pretty good. Williams, they picked on him a lot in the regular season. So I don't know. I dig it though. That was cool, man. Appreciate the 2 and the 10 and all your support tonight. You're awesome. Thank you. But I still want to know.
So
your
wait,
name.
I gotta think about this.
Wait. Got it. Caleb. I'll remember that.
So Caleb, okay. So Caleb says that number 1, 15 targets, 10 receptions, 165 was Jalen Watson. Who did you say? Josh Williams? No,
Yeah.
you said Jalen Watson, didn't you? 1?
No, I said Joshua Williams.
Okay, but I said Watson could be number 1.
Yeah,
so,
you did.
Yeah. So number
You get a half
2,
point.
8 targets, 5 receptions, 34 yards. Josh Williams. I'm kind of wondering, though, if Josh Williams just didn't play as much. That's why he only had 8 targets.
That's a possibility, too.
I mean,
because
yeah, that's
teams
probably what
did
it
try
is.
to pick on that guy. They did.
Right. Number 3 was who? McDuffie? 21 targets,
McDuffie.
15 receptions, 173. That's pretty crazy. McDuffie don't usually
Well,
give up
it's
a
not
lot.
pretty crazy either because McDuffie was covering a lot of number 1 receivers. Like they
What
made him
about
cover
Sneed?
Jamar Chase. They made him cover. Yeah, Sneed did as well, but they didn't swap up until there was times where they had Sneed shadowing the number 1s, but a lot of times they didn't switch sides of the field.
Okay.
McDuffie was
So,
yeah.
still, though, 21 targets, 15 receptions. So he had 6 PBUs or whatever, says McDuffie. 16 targets, 13 receptions. See, Sneed allows a lot of receptions. 16 targets, 13 receptions, and only give up 30 less yards. 30 less yards than McDuffie. So that's what we're saying, man. Sneed is not as locked down as you think he would be. It's I don't know.
Sneed
It's
lets
weird.
up a lot. That was actually one of the stats that surprised a lot
Yeah.
of people. Was out of the whole entire NFL,
He
was
allows lots of
somebody
catches.
that let up the most average yards. Cindy says, "Woohoo! Gifted members flying off the shelves. Love it. Yeah, we love it too, man. You guys are awesome. Thanks for the support. I saw this down here, and I don't know what the context is, but someone says, where did it go? Maybe he prefers Mexican food. If you're talking about
Not
me
a
or
Chinese
Mike,
guy?
Oh, I forgot. That's exactly okay, Wayne.
That's what they're talking about, bro.
That's freaking awesome. I forgot about it. Nice
Not a
one.
Chinese
Nice one,
guy.
K-Wayne. Digging it.
I do like Chinese
I started
food,
saying, I
though.
just saw, I'm so fat. I just saw prefers Mexican food, and I'm like, that's me. I prefer Mexican food.
We had Mexican
I had
food
it
today,
today.
man.
That's good stuff right there. I love it.
Oh, wait. Brian Parrott says that Williams actually covered for Sneed, played some real nasty dudes. That must be accounted for. Williams did come in and play a lot in the AFC Championship game. Remember, he had that tip drill
Yes.
pick.
Yes.
Dude, I think
yeah.
Josh Williams is going to
They-
be a dog, man.
I
Him
do
and
too. I
Watson.
do too.
Dude, we're
See,
we're so deep at corner, guys. So do you really
Awesome.
think they're
Love
going to
it.
pay
Love it.
L'Jarius Sneed that much money? I don't see it happening.
No, they're not going to do
I
it,
don't
guys.
see
I'm
it.
sorry. I like them as much as you do, but you guys got to come to
Yeah.
reality and come to terms with the fact that I don't think Sneed's going to be here after this year, if he's here for the whole year.
I like this question. Why is it we can't get 1 yard for first downs? Do we need a bigger back? No, we need better play calling. That's all that is.
Yeah,
it was the most horrible play
if you
calls
guys
I've ever
watch,
seen.
if you can watch Isaiah Pacheco run the ball and then convince yourself that he can't get a yard whenever he wants it, you're not paying attention. It's play calling.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm going to go back. I'm going to let you go through. I'm going to look up something on my phone really quick. You hold down the house. I just want to see one
So
stat
get me
really
lost in
quick.
chat, and then no, I'm just kidding.
Oh, sorry. I think we're caught up. Maybe.
Maybe not. Don't run says Williams is his boom or bust because he's going to see a lot of playing time. I think so. I think you'll see more Williams this year, but I think he's going to be. I'm with Mike. I think he's going to be a dog. I just do. I think he's good. He got the size, got the speed. He improved last year. He was accountable when he wasn't good, which is a major thing. You saw veterans on the team like Juan Thornhill, Colin Saunders, guys that were not accountable whatsoever. They play like crap, and then they ask for you guys to give them sympathy after the fact. Like, well, I tried really hard on Twitter. We tried real hard, guys. No. You had the rookie, Josh Williams, saying, hey, on me, man. I didn't play good. I've got to do better than that. I will be better than that. That's leadership. That's somebody that's going to be better.
Yeah.
I'm glad Juan Thornhill and Colin Saunders are gone. Let's just be honest about it. I can't stand that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I'm excited about Josh Williams, though. I do like him a lot. I'm excited about our secondary as a whole. They're just fire, bro. There's a lot of them. A lot of good ones. I mean, I'd be happy to see Sneed stick around for the entire year. I don't by any means want him to go, but I just think everybody needs to come to terms with the fact that he might not be here because he's on his contract year. He's going to get paid by somebody. Corner is a valuable position that people will pay for. We've seen it in the past. They do it all the time. But the last one that we paid was Brandon Flowers. And I can't remember what year that was, but it's been a long time. And we paid him, gave him a 5-year contract. We cut him after 2 years of it.
Yeah.
After that, we let him walk. We let him walk all the time. You saw Marcus Peters go. He didn't even finish up his rookie contract, did he? He had a bad attitude. They just told him to hit the bricks. Yeah, I mean, you saw it with Javarius Ward last year. He got really good throughout his tenure with the Chiefs, and then he took a fat paycheck from the 49ers. So it just is what it is.
Check this out. I went here. I'm going to see if I can share this. We'll see if we can share the screen. It's probably going to cause everything to be really slow, but we'll do it. This is kind of interesting. Do you see this? Do you see the screen? L'Jarius Sneed. Check this out. He was first with solo tackles last year, 87. Right. So good.
Yeah.
Tied for 9th interceptions. Good. Targets. They throw at L'Jarius Sneed so much.
Well, we talked about this.
And look, receptions allowed.
Allowed.
Yeah, receptions allowed. He'd give up more than anybody in the league. He lets up
That's
more.
That's why they throw at him a lot. Yeah.
Right. But his overall player grade was a 76. Pass rush was an 84. Coverage is 74. So they did grade him a 74 coverage.
He's an excellent pass rusher. I'll give you that. I love L'Jarius Sneed on a blitz. Dude's awesome.
Yeah, but that's different.
He leaves a lot to be desired with his coverage. Let's just put it that way. He lets up a lot of receptions. You just saw it. He was first in the league.
Okay, here you go. I mean, look, against the Chargers, he got a 39.9 coverage grade, a 58% coverage grade against Indianapolis and Matt Ryan, a 51 against Josh Allen, a 58 against San Francisco. Was it Trey Lance that he was going against, or was Trey Lance already out by that point? I don't remember. Jacksonville, a 53 earlier in the season, a 57 against Joe Burrow in Week 13, a 49 against Houston, a 49.4 against Houston, against Seattle, a 39.7, a 64 and a 61 to close it out. Look, and then last year he was even worse. He only had a 62% coverage grade last year. It's just, I feel like, I like L'Jarius Sneed. Do not get me wrong. I like L'Jarius Sneed. But when you talk about overhyped players, you got to put L'Jarius Sneed on that. You have to. I just think you have to. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree. But, I mean, there's a reason we love him. He flies all over the field. He makes plays. He's good on the blitz. I mean, there's reasons to love L'Jarius Sneed. That's why we all love him. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's just a completely perfect, well-rounded player except for Patrick Mahomes. He's the only one in the league, so is what it is. Let's see here. I saw a question I wanted to address. Where'd it go? David Howe says, does Mahomes need to improve his play-action passing game? Well, I mean, from the eye test, I don't know the stats off the top of my head. I might try to look those up real quick. But on play action, I think that Mahomes... You do see it quite a bit, I guess, because we run the... Do they consider the RPO play action? Because, I mean...
No, I think play action has to be... It has to be, like, literally handoff. Put it in the face... Yeah, put it in the running back's chest and pull it. I don't know, to be honest. I really do not know if he needs to improve it or if our receivers need to improve.
Well, I'll tell you what.
It just goes.
Last year he had 138 play-action attempts with a total yards of 1,291 play-action yards. And that was, yeah.
So he averages 10 yards a play on play action?
Right at 10 yards in play on play action. Also,
does he got touchdowns, picks?
Out of 648 attempts on the season, only 138 of them were play action, which means we don't do play action a whole lot. Not even maybe 15% of the time. Yeah, I mean, I don't think so. I think he does fine.
Well,
I just don't think we do a lot of play action.
Play action is usually ran out of a single back set under center. Patrick Mahomes takes the snap. So, I mean, we may do those little fake RPOs. It's basically RPO stuff. So, yeah, I'm with you. Well, Pat Mahomes is in the chat, so let's just ask him. Pat, do you need to improve? He says also Leo Chenal or Drew Tranquil. They're different positions.
Man, I think Leo's going to have a good little breakout year here.
I think Leo will be good. I think Drew's a good signing, too.
Yeah. It's hard to pick between those two. They're two different players, right? They're both linebackers, but Drew, he's a solid football. They're both good football players, but like Drew's going to be better in coverage. Leo's going to be better, tracking down those runners and, being all over the field.
Hey, Kip makes a good point. He said they might have some tape on these new corners we got. And I think he's talking about maybe going into year 2. I'd actually said that. I thought that our corners, if they could have down years, it could be this year because now they've got all that rookie tape. These wily wide receivers might figure out ways to beat them on certain things, find their tendencies, and now people are game planning against McDuffie and the Josh Williams and all of them. So do I think they'll let up? No, but if there's a possibility, those corners could maybe struggle a little more than we seen them last year. I think last year nobody respected them. Nobody knew Josh Williams was that athletic, to be honest. And so they would test him. And
well, they did it with Jalen Watson too. They just see a rookie out there and they try to mismatch it and get like a Jamar Chase on one of them and just pick them apart. And you saw it a lot with the Chargers. They were trying to pick on Jalen Watson, and how'd that turn out for them? Pick 6, baby. Pick 6.
It's the draft hat.
Yeah, it's a draft hat. A lot of people ask you about that because I think the actual one was a different color, and that one's all black.
Yeah, it was an all black. It was the one from last year, but Casey Fandan, good to see you. I don't think I've seen Casey Fandan here before. If you have, I apologize, but if not, good to see you here, and I'm glad you asked about the hat. I just pulled this out today. I lost it in Steve's car for like 6 months, and I was like, where's my hat?
Well, we went to camp. And you had it in the back of the car. Yeah.
You're right. I wore it to camp last year, and then I was like, "Where in the world's my hat, dude?"
I have a Ford Explorer, and it's got the 3rd row, so you like hit the button and it flips up or whatever. Somehow it got flipped in to the seat. That's where I found it. So that's pretty funny. You thought it was long gone. Don't run, Leo. Leo's not too slow to diagnose plays. I think. Yeah, granted, this year I think he did struggle with that at first, and I think that's what hampered him a lot. But by the end of the year, he saw him start, and I think that'll come with time. I think he's fast enough for our scheme. If you go back and watch Leo at Wisconsin, he's a very downhill player. Like he can close pretty quick. Like he's a closer. So I don't know, man. I think Leo can do it. We'll see. But I have high hopes for him this year.
Dez says, do you think they extend Bolton and Willie? You better extend Nick Bolton.
You have to, Bolton.
Willie is on the fence a little bit.
Especially with Drew Tranquil here. Of course, he's only on the 1 year. But Willie's more on a hot seat than Bolton will ever be. Bolton's too good. Bolton's one of the best linebackers in football, no matter how much they disrespect the guy and refuse to acknowledge it. He just is.
Right. And then that kind of goes with
take
this
it easy,
one.
Gary. Thanks for hanging
Gary.
out with us like usual, man.
Yeah, he says, how often are we going to put 3 linebackers on the field? You can't have this many studs and not use them. Dude, our linebacker room got better. I'm still telling you, Cam Jones out of Indiana, Isaiah Moore out of North Carolina State. We still had Jack Cochran from last year who made the roster. Dude, we're going to be deep at linebacker. We really are. So, yeah, I think they'll have to use more. Yeah, David says we have 5 very good. I do too. I think we keep 5.
Yeah.
I think we keep 5 linebackers this year. I really do. I think we only took 4 last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Caleb with the Tim bomb.
Caleb.
Boom. We appreciate you, Caleb. You're awesome. Thanks for the support, man. Tape won't help with Josh Williams. If you watch tape, he didn't know what he was doing most of the season.
That's true.
He was just athletic enough he could keep up. It's exactly why I picked him as my dark horse. Dude, Caleb, you hit the nail on the head right there. Josh Williams needed to learn the game. It's a huge step. I mean, he was playing at what? I always forget the name of the school, but it was crap. Why can I never remember his school? Lafayette State or something. I don't know. Hold on. But yeah, he took a
Josh
huge
Williams?
step in. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
it's
took a huge
HBCU,
step
but I don't
into the
remember which one it
NFL.
was. Whoa.
I'll tell you real quick. I have Google. I don't know why I always forget this kid's school, but I do every time.
It's Fayetteville
Yeah,
State
it
or
was,
something. isn't it?
Fayetteville. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Fayetteville.
Yeah, you had me thrown off with
Fayetteville State,
Lafayette,
so-
but you kind of got it. Like if you left off the
See,
law,
I was close.
you kind
I
of
was
had
close.
it. Pat Mahomes
No,
says,
but,
how's BJ coming along? Pat, you tell us.
Yeah. How are we supposed to know? No, but Caleb, you hit the nail on the head with Josh Williams. He took a big step from a small school to the NFL. There's a huge learning curve, especially with a Steve Spagnuolo defense. It's a lot to learn. I mean, was it Justin Reed or one of them guys came out and said they didn't even really fully understand the defense until the last quarter of the year last year.
Yeah, Justin
It just
Reed.
takes a long time to learn. So, I mean, Josh Williams is only going to get better. I'm with you. I think his physical traits and his athleticism really hid a lot of him not knowing what was going on, to be quite honest about it.
Hey, Chris had
See,
you in the
everybody
chat.
in the chat. Everybody
Caleb
in the
had
chat
you in the
knew
chat.
where he went to college.
What's
I
up,
don't
the
know why I keep
Juice?
forgetting.
Good to see you. He says the kid from Harvard, talking about the defensive end. You're talking about Truman Jones.
Yeah, what's his name? Truman Jones.
Truman Jones is good. Could be a little overwhelming for him to make the team, but I will say this. We had Truman Jones in on a top 30 visit. So that shows you that Brett Veach doesn't just bring in top 30 visits that he think are going to be 30 players in the first round. He's going after kids he wants to sign in the UFDA. He's playing chess out here. So, yeah, Fayetteville State, it is.
You know who's somebody that everybody forgets about? He's kind of an intriguing little pickup as far as wide receivers go. I don't think he makes the squad, but I think he'll be a practice squad guy. We never talk about him. We forget about him all the time. Ty Freifogel.
Don't talk about Tyler Freifogel, buddy.
Do you remember, though? Like, he's not a bad little receiver.
We signed him.
Played at Indiana.
He's a tall guy. He's a big body guy. He's almost like an
He's only 6'1". He's 6'1", 204.
Boy, they had him listed
It's
wrong
the
in
hair.
Indiana because they had him listed at like 6'3".
He has tall hair. They didn't do it right.
Yeah, I guess so, man.
Man.
I just seen something up here and I wanted to talk about it.
Let me ask you, did you think Tyron Mathieu was all that? Okay, there's two things can be true here. Tyron Mathieu was all that. He was still one of the most productive safeties in football last year with the Saints. But to go along with that, Tyron Mathieu did not try very hard his last year with the Chiefs. He did not put in the effort. He olayed way too many easy tackles because he didn't want to take the hit. I think it was time for him to go. So I do think that he's one of the best safeties to probably ever play football. I think he's up there. I mean, guy's a beast. He can do a lot of things for you. He was a good leader. But, yeah, man, it is what it is. He just kind of flaked out on us that last year a little bit. I don't know if things weren't going his way or what the deal was. Yeah, I just think it was time to part with him. But I do love Tyron Mathieu and I appreciate everything he did for the Chiefs in that Super Bowl run because he was invaluable.
The Juice says Ryan likes Freifogel. Or you talking about Ryan
likes everybody
Tracy?
except for George Karlaftis.
Yeah, this guy.
That's what I'm figuring out here. I'm calling up Ryan. I'm going to be like, is there anybody on the team you don't like besides George?
Scott says we got 4 or 5 guys we had on top 30s. Yeah, man. Brett Veach definitely uses that top 30 to his advantage. I'm curious to see how many more teams do that. Maybe we just don't follow them close enough. But I'm kind of curious. I kind of want to dig in and see like maybe who Denver brought in for top 30s and then go look at their draft and their UDFAs and see if everybody does it or something. I'm pretty sure they probably do.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And the Juice also says Tyron's lost a couple steps. For sure. Well,
Yeah,
he was making business decisions the entire year. Let's be honest.
Yeah, exactly. That was my point. But, I actually saw somewhere the other day, he was one of the most productive safeties in football last season for the Saints. Believe it or not.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they was playing behind for, well, yeah. I guess that would have worked against him if the other team's not having to play catch up.
Yeah. Well, like Bucks Tech. Good to see you, man. I've seen you in the chat before, so welcome. Hit that sub button if you haven't yet already and hang out with us more often. But he said Matthew's still on fire from getting burned by the Bengals in the playoffs. It's true. I'm telling you, he didn't do what he was supposed to be doing that last year with the Chiefs. He half-assed us, and we didn't, we owe Tyron a lot because of what he was able to do and the leadership he brought to that defense and won us a Super Bowl. He was a big player in winning us a Super Bowl. Let's be honest about it. But he came back the next year, and he really let us down, man. So I wasn't mad to see him go. It was kind of sad. He was kind of sad about it. I remember it was a whole ordeal. But, like, dude, I understand you're upset and you wanted to stay with the Chiefs. And But you can't go out there and give the fans and the franchise that type of effort that you did and then expect to stick around. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah. Let's see. There was something I was going to click, and then I lost it.
You're always losing it.
I lost it. Yeah, my chat lags, and then it, like, skips around. It sucks. Oh, well. Oh, here it was.
Hey, Bucks Tech. I see you. Don't be afraid to get in the chat, man. I'm glad you actually said something. Got a good community going.
Lon, good to see you, Lon. He says, any updates on Nico Remigio? He made some
the great
good.
Remigio.
He made some really good catches actually in the OTA session. I was trying to think exactly what he did during the OTA. He did something like really awesome. Let me find it because I don't want to get it wrong. I want to give him some credit because we really like Nico here. I think Nico is one of those guys that could definitely make the practice squad. He'd surprise some people. Here it is. Nico Remigio, Silent G, baby. The rookie wide receiver made a strong catch over the middle despite good coverage during an 11-on-11 drill and probably could have taken it to the house, apparently. He also made a really good diving catch over the middle, good third down catch. I want to say that was 11-on-11 or 7-on-7s too. He made it was in the rookie one that we had just a few weeks ago. He made one of the best catches of the entire rookie OTAs. He caught like one up the sideline, took it, and they said that that's what he couldn't do. I even said that. I was like, I don't think he's much of a deep ball threat. He's more of a slot guy. He went out and he caught the deep ball. So I think Nico, we got to watch for him. I like his name, Remigio. It sounds like Beavis and Butthead. He's like Cornelio. Yeah.
Caleb says, you guys would be surprised how little teams use the top 30 visits. I'm kind of a nerd when it comes to this stuff. I'll hit you on Twitter, but it's really rare how we use it. Maybe 5 teams do it. I agree with you. I think that's true, a true statement. Not doubting you at all on that one, but I do think there's a pattern with Brett Veach. And I think if Brett Veach has visited with somebody, whether it was a top 30 visit or he just talked to them in general, I think there's definitely a correlation because usually they're drafting guys that they've met with. They normally don't go out of the box. I don't think.
Right.
I mean, that's how Mike was able to nail 3 draft picks the year before last. That's how we were able to together get 2 or 3 draft picks this year, just by going off little things that we've noticed, little patterns that Brett Veach puts out there. So, but yeah, send that to us on Twitter. And if anybody else is on Twitter, Twitter's a dark place. They're not,
Twitter's definitely a dark.
It is. We don't get a whole lot of interaction on Twitter, but I don't really care because Twitter people just seem to be such a Debbie Downer. But either way, if you're on Twitter, we do tweet quite a bit, so it's all chiefed up. Be sure to follow us on there.
Jared says, are we still live right now? I love you guys. Yeah, Jared, we are still live.
Sir.
Good to have you here, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, we got 95 likes, 96 likes. Let's get a couple more. Let's hit that 100 mark. We'll probably spend a few more minutes with you here tonight. We appreciate you guys being here. Over 100 pretty much all night. We appreciate that. Make sure you guys hit that like button if you're new to the channel. Make sure to hit the sub button. Hang out with us more often. Don't be afraid to get in the chat. I love seeing first-time people in the chat. It's awesome. And we got a really good group of people here. No stupid questions here. We might call you slap nuts if it's too bad, but I mean, it is what it is. That's the worst it's going to get. But yeah.
Later, Kip. Have a good night, man.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out, Kip.
Wait, I thought this was a funny question. Well, it's not funny, but New Heights podcast with Kelsey Brothers often ask who has a better chance of having success. NBA players coming to the NFL or NFL to the NBA? What do you say? Definitely NBA to NFL. You're going to say why? And I'm going to say this. Tony Gonzalez, like Antonio Gates. You've got the little tight end connection to the wide receiver. Is there that many NFL players that I think could go to the NBA and be good? I don't know. I don't know how good NBA player or NFL players are. You never really see them. It's Patrick Mahomes can't even play basketball. It's out of his contract.
I think there's players in both that could translate back and forth. Like LeBron James. The guy's huge. He's a big athlete. If he wasn't such a crybaby,
right? Could he be a tight end?
He could have been a tight end in football.
That's what I'm saying. I think the NBA to NFL would have more success.
It can go back and forth. Yeah, because for the simple fact is those guys just aren't as physical, right? I mean,
But
there's
let's be
no way they can
honest.
come out and take some of these hits.
They're all floppers and crybabies, and they wouldn't really do too well.
So they could play with, let's see,
The slap nuts.
they could play with the Chargers.
True. Wait, what is up?
What?
Jared. Jared says, what was the topic tonight? The topic was the OTA standouts. We hadn't really talked about OTA standouts and different things, and we're just giving people some credit. Deion Bush has looked good. Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Matt Bushman.
Marquez. Sorry. Nazee's looked pretty good. Nico did look pretty good. Deneric Prince, obviously. Sky Moore's looking good. So, yeah, we're just calling out a few names. Who are some losers? That's what we didn't call out. We didn't call out any losers. You know what?
Well, I mean,
I
there's
don't want
not
to say
really
anybody's
losers.
a loser. Right.
There's not really losers. I think the only losers that could possibly be from OTAs because they were voluntary. I think if you're a young guy and you're like a rookie, I don't think you should be missing any. It's just my opinion. You can get out there and show your work ethic and get as much work as you can.
After watching the
learning
OTAs,
curve.
though, in full, Steve, I think the biggest losers out of all this is the AFC West because they're not touching us again this year. Like, we're that deep still. So that'll be my losers for the
yeah.
Chiefs OTA, the AFC West.
Sam says, who has a higher chance of not being on the team this year, Kennard or Nyang? Nyang.
Please let it be Niang because if it's
No,
Kennard,
I'm-
I'm going to be angry.
Look, here, I think Kennard's okay because Kennard is your little Swiss Army knife. He can play tackle if he has to. They like him at guard as well.
Yeah.
And guess what? Something else people don't want to hear. Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith got some contracts coming up. And, I mean, what if something don't work out with Trey Smith? You have to have your guys there. And I think that, you have to have those options. I think Niang would be the one. He's just been injury prone. He hasn't really produced that much even when he was in. It wasn't like a big deal. So it is what it is.
Right. Oh, man. Jared says, what's up with Leo? I don't know. What is up with Leo? Is he hurt? Is he not playing?
not.
Something going
Leo's
on?
going
I
to
don't
have a
know.
good year.
You haven't heard
I have high
nothing
hopes for
about him.
Leo this year. He had that baby. He had a little baby girl, I think. He's ready to go. He's ready to come out.
Oh, he said he didn't show up to the last day of OTAs. I don't think it's nothing important. I don't think it's nothing we got to worry about. But,
Right.
hey, what's up, King Mo? Good to see you, man. He says
What's up,
from
Mo?
1 to 10, watch y'all's confidence in the wide receiver room. As it sits, I'll give it like a 7.5, 7. Yeah.
7. If they were to add a piece, like a big piece like D-Hop, obviously that goes up to like a 9.
Steve, you were
if they
just
don't-
waiting to get D-Hop in here again. This guy loves
No,
D-Hop.
I'm not. No, I'm just saying it's a possibility still. But if they stick with what they got, 7. I'm not like down on our wide receiver. I think our wide receiver room's good. A lot of good wide receivers.
Right. Night Hunter says, Mike, in 2 months, all the national media is going to pick the Chargers. They've already started, I think. They
they've
said the
already
Chargers
started.
were going to sweep us. Because of who? Kellen Moore. If you think Kellen Moore is going to outmaneuver Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo, you're out of your mind.
Yeah, slap nuts.
Brian Parrott says, y'all think Tranquil plays as safety.
No, but I think you'll see him interchange some. You know how Spags does, where like a lot of times last year you wouldn't see Brian Cook and say Leo Chanel on the field at the same time. Like sometimes they would go with a 3 safety set and one less linebacker, something like that. Spags will do that type of thing. So you might see that, but
Tranquil
I don't
may
think he'll
shadow-
actually play safety. I don't think he'll play safety.
He may shadow like certain tight ends and stuff too, I think, to be honest. Didn't he play safety in college? Where did Tranquil go to school? Was it Notre Dame? I think he might have
I
played a
don't
little
know.
bit of safety in Notre
Honestly,
Dame,
I
if
don't
not
know a
all
whole lot
safety
about
at Notre
Drew.
Dame. Well, I watched
I've not
some
really
Notre Dame football.
Dove
but-
into him. I did think he was a good player with the Chargers. He was a kind of a pain in our ass, so I knew he was a decent football player. Cause
Hey,
but
if
other
any of
than
you
that,
guys,
let me check.
if any of you guys live in South Bend and you can get tickets to Notre Dame, hit your boy up. I want to go watch a football game up at Notre Dame. I went there last year and visited that campus. That's a beautiful campus, man. I'm not even Catholic, and I kind of wanted to be Catholic for a day. What's Steve doing over here? You might want to go check the Klan, Steve.
Sounds like someone's dying. I
Could
don't know.
be. Brian, what's up, man? Good to see you. He said, what's up, guys? You and Cole the other night was nice to see. Yeah, we talked about that. We might go back on Cole's channel again here in the next few weeks, month or so. We may have Cole on here Saturday night tailgate with us one night, too. I don't really know what he wants to talk about. Cole says it's slow, and it is slow. I'll give him that. It's kind of slow, so we're just trying to come up with stuff to do. So if Cole wants to come on,
that was fun, though.
We'll do it.
That was fun. I like doing the crossovers. That's good stuff.
Yeah. Okay, man, we're about to jump off here. We're gonna give it maybe like 1 or 2 more minutes. Get your last questions in.
Do us a favor, hit that like button, even on your way out when we're done. Just hit that like button. It helps us out tremendously. Gets it out to more people. We appreciate all the donos tonight. You guys are awesome. You know who you are. Got Caleb. He's been holding it down. Stephen James, Jam Fried Gable, and then the Gifteds with Gil, Chris Wright. I feel like I'm missing people, and if I am, I'm so sorry. But we appreciate you guys like crazy. Man, the support's awesome. So, love it.
Chris is heading out. Later, Chris. Have a good night, man.
Later, Chris.
Good to have you here. Thanks for all the subs.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out, man. You the man.
Awesome. Not subs. I don't know why I keep calling them subs.
The legend himself.
The gifted memberships. I'll get it right in a minute.
Hey, Chris, before you leave, I forgot to even mention something. If you haven't jumped off already, I made you a ketchup bottle emoji just for you. I don't know if you saw it, but it's on there. You ask and you shall receive.
Yeah. Brian says, who has the best friggin' chat on the web? I don't know. Probably not us.
We got some good people.
Yeah.
I like our chat.
Oh, the people are fine. I'm just saying, with these two slap nuts up here talking about football, we probably drive everybody out of here.
Slapnut Junior.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
I'll be Slap, Steve, and you be Nuts. How about that?
Man, let's see here. Sam says, if Butker goes 5 for 10 on extra points in the first couple of weeks, is Andy Reid concerned? Yes, he should be. Butker struggled last year, but he had an ankle injury. There's actually a whole story. He had to retrain himself like a different what's the word? I'm losing my words now. It's getting late. But he had to go from a whole different aspect of kicking.
Like
he
a
had
technique?
to change his technique. Yeah, technique. He had to change his technique. He started doing something different. So he was going through it there for a minute. But by the end of the year, Butker won us the Super Bowl, baby. I mean, Butker was Butker.
Yep.
So they're going to miss every now and then. But, you know.
Okay, guys. Brenda's heading out. We'll see you, Cindy, everybody. I think it's getting late for everybody, so we'll go ahead and we'll get up off here. Thanks again to everybody that threw out memberships. Thanks to everybody that threw out, whatever.
Donos,
stickers,
whatever.
Donos,
hit the like
just
button.
talking
We
to us. That's
appreciate
good.
you.
Yeah. Hit that like button on the way out. And if you haven't subbed already, hit that sub. We're trying to get to 10K. Appreciate it. We'll be back on Monday with a video, so just be watching that. And again, we're starting to go live on Wednesdays, not Tuesdays. Just letting you guys know so you remember. So we'll be back on Wednesday night with another live, and we will see you guys.